Hello. Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to the stream. Valorant ගහමු මේ මැච් එක බලලා ඉවර වෙලා. මොකද වෙන්නේ කට්ටිය? කෙලින්ම අදාවේ
මැච් එක බලන්න ඕනේ. කීබෝඩ් එකත් බුක් කරපුවා.
ඔව්. ඒකද කීබෝඩ් අන්බොක්සින් එකක් තියෙනවා ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. බොස් අපි අද ආවේ කෙලින්ම ලයිව් එක බලලා ඊට පස්සේ මේ කීබෝඩ් එක අන්බොක්ස් කරලා ඊට පස්සේ Valorant ගහමු.
Chamber players and lost one of their best players. Lost one of their best and put in a man who's never played Vice before. But with Ackerman opening up this round, one of the rifles.
Guys, ඔයාලා දන්නවා සීන් එක Demon 1 play කරන්නේ මෙයාලට කාටද DRX ලට.
That's disastrous if so, leaving Buzz.
අන්න නේලක ගායාස් වැන්ඩල් එක උන්න බලපන් Demon 1 උයි ගායාස් වැන්ඩල් එකයි කියන්නේ ගෙලින්ම ආයේ ගහයි පොත්තයි වගේ ඌ ගහනවා.
Okay, the rifle did fall. Thank you, Jack.
I think thank you Jack තමයි ඉතින්.
Just give him credit. Why not?
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Oh, it's a bold play from Buzz. At this point, you can understand wanting
බව
to try
පහම
and
එකට
put the
යන්නේ
ball back, but
හරි ඉවරයි.
chance for Meteor.
ඔය මෙට්‍රොත් හොඳයි නේලක. ඔය T1 එකේ මෙට්‍රෝ එහෙම.
But this is definitely a tough ask, and he's the last man standing. Flexing. There he is.
මෙට්‍රොත් මේ තනියෙන් එහෙම ක්ලච් කරනවා මේ ඒ කියන්නේ කන්ට්‍රෝලර් මේ සෙන්ටිනල් ගැහුවට
Slow start to this game. 5-2 down now.
ඒ ඩීමන් වනුයි මායි දෙන්නම දැන් ගහන්නේ සෙන්ටිනල් ලව. හරිම සතුටුයි.
And I'll be honest with
අපේ
you,
අනිත් ජනතාව
I'm
නෑනේ.
yet to really see much on this defensive side that makes me think
ඩීමන් වල අතර ගැව්වා
T1 are going to be able to turn this
අයිලකින්
around.
එකට
It's
ඕ
been
අම්මා සුපිරීබා.
fairly comfortable for DRG in the second half.
චවුඩීම් එකනේ බං අර උගාන්නේ
ඩීමන් වන්ද
ඉන්නේ ෆයිල්ලේ මොකක්ද ඉඩක් අයියෝ
ඒ කියන්නේ නේලක සීන් එක කියන්නේ ඩීමන් වන් අනේ මන් දන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ performance මං හිතන්නේ අඩු වුණා ඩීමන් වන් ගේ නැත්නම් NRG ප්ලේ කරපු NRG වල මේන් ප්ලේ කෙනෙක් නේ බා
himself a triple before eventually falling. Stacks was there, but Demon One deals with him. A shaky start for T1. DH put them right back on winning track, but now it's Meteor, a man who's received his MVP, his acknowledgement on the international scene. Well, he has to take down one of the best at a time.
අඩු
So risky, giving it away. Demon One against Meteor
හරි
for
හරි
the round.
ඔන්න බලපන්
For the
ඩීමන් වන් ගහන එක විදිහ
round for DRG. A nail in the coffin if they lose this for T1. And time being bought. Demon One can reposition, but now Meteor is going to do the same, and there's no escape. Demon One caught by the ultimate, down to the Sheriff, but he's got the positional advantage.
කොහොමද ඒ කියන්නේ හිතන් ඒ කියන්නේ
One down by two.
ට්‍රීස් වල ඇති කියලා හිතන්නවත් නෑ ඔය T1 එහෙම දැන් ගහන්නේ ඔය T1 ලා සුපිරි බං මේ LoL වල
Gave me an
League of Legends වල හොඳම ටීම් එක මේ
clears
T1
so many different positions around the A side, but then gambles.
ගැව්වා මොකද මේ හෙඩ් එක අපි
කොහොමද ෂෙරික් හෙඩ් ඒක තමයි බං ඩීමන් වන් කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම
The round over. DH
එන
at the
toxic
beginning, it feels like a
Demon One.
lifetime ago, the amount of work that he was able to do.
ඔබ දන්නවද ඩීමන් වන්ට පැනල්ටි එකක් දුනා මේ ටොක්සික් වලට මම කියන්නේ ගේම් වල නෙමෙයි ටූර්නමන්ට් වල
Definitely seeming like the
මූ
stand-in
මූ ටී බෑක් කරනවා මේ
of
ඉස්සර
the century so far. I'm on Meteor. Sure, not a
දැන්
whole
ඒ
lot in
සීන්
this
එක
round,
නෑනේ
but
දැන් නෑ ඒක වෝනින් කරලාකෝ පැනල්ටි දුන්නා ඩීමන් වන්ට
Bucky can be dangerous, but not on a peak like that. Demon One.
Demon One
spoon-fed
එතන
that
ඉන්නවා.
pick.
හෙඩ් අල්ලනවා කියන්නේ මොනවා
He's gonna let
කියලාද
him fade
ඕ බා
away on the
ඩීමන්
side.
වන්ට ෂොට්
He's
මිස් වෙන්නේ නෑ
classic in hand. He's
ටීම්
got
සපෝට් එක on ඩීමන් වන්ට බා
done well. Stacks at least finding another, but it's not enough in a round like this.
You know, I
Man
know.
left.
එහෙනම්
DH, stinger in hand. A flank that they
Would
don't
you really
expect.
really
Remember, they held
activate
onto that
me
space
defender
towards
of
A
the
long
net?
for a long time.
ඕ
I don't think they heard that weapon be
Anni
picked up.
varai.
He's dodged the flash. This timing could
Demon
be
Nut කොහොමද?
perfect, but Demon One's there to greet him, and even if he wasn't,
මූණට මූණයි
should have cleaned up.
Take it, Willie.
11
මූණට
on the
මූණ
board.
out එක ගහන්න
DRG,
ගහන්න බෑ.
the underdog coming into this in most people's minds, looking at T1's performance, looking at the substitute they've had to make, looking at the role for Demon One. They're close to taking this now.
this is the thing. I almost wonder, and it might sound ridiculous, but like Demon One going into Gukashu's role, basically, it's much more
ඔය
simple. in the
ටේබල්
aspect of,
ටේබල්
like,
වල ඔය
we need
ඔය
to hold the
බලපන්
side of the
කොහොමද
map
ඩීමන්
well,
වන්ගේ
but
කීබෝඩ් එක කියලා තනිකර vertical තියන් ඉන්නවා
focus on
Oh,
setting
මේ
the
කී
example.
උඹලා
Like, for
බෝඩ් එක
example,
අන්බොක්ස්
like
කරද්දී
putting
මම
Scott's
මූ කරාගේ
position,
ඩිස්කෝඩ්
there's
එකේ
no
Ah.
reason for him to be caught without his gun, and you
එලිම
put this guy
පැක්
just to frag.
සීල් පැක් පිටි සීල්
Well,
පැක්
he's
වත් කැඩිලා නෑනේ
18-9. He is the top fragger in the whole server right now.
එහෙනම් ඒ අපි
තව එකක් තියෙනවා යූස් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක එන අඩු ගන්න දෙන්න කැමති
Doubters or hate watchers set
හරිද
around.
ඉතින් ලංකා සල්ලි වෙන 25000කට දෙන්න කැමති කාට හරි ඕනේද ඒක
අර සකිට්ගෙන් අහලා සකිට්ට ඕනනම් එහෙනම් සකිට්ට කියලා සකිට්ගෙන් අහලා ඕනනම්
රිප්ලයි කරන්න මම ආවා ඉන්නේ
සකිට් ඒ ගෲප් එකේ නෑ බං සකිට් වල නෑනේ ඒ ගෲප් එක
Demon One, it's got to be an absolute field day.
ඒ ගෲප්
A
එකේ
return to
සකිට්
form.
නෑ
And T1, well, they've hit the panic button. You're 11 to 8 down.
දන්නවද මොකද
You're up
කරන්නේ
against a team that
බලමු මට
also
නම්
just wanna
මට දැන්
add
අර
to the
කාඩ් එකටත්
context of the rest
මං
of
තියන්
the
ඉන්න හින්දා මට
other
ගන්න බැරි වෙයි
two teams are G2 and Heretics. Obviously,
ඒක
Heretics
අපරාධේ
went on a
බං
crazy
ගන්න
run
වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඔය
last year.
ගන්නට බං
ඔව්නේ
Had a bit of a
විරාට
rough patch as of recent.
බොක්ස්
And
එකේ බලපන්
G2,
ගෲප් එකේ
I don't
Nah,
think they
that-
broke a sweat at all in
Put
winning
that dude
Marriages.
together,
In
then
fact,
wow, together.
they subbed in Baby Bay and made him look good.
I'd say he made himself look
මේක
good.
ඩොලර් 479ක්
Out
ගියා
of the
කියලා
server or in
ගේම්
the server?
ඉම්පෝට් කරා
Okay. Out of the server.
Pirata?
No.
You're joking. I'll let him know. I'll let him know what you said. Well, 11 to 8, and this
ඉම්පෝට් එක
could very well be the end of T1 if they lose this round, at least in this map. Their pick Sunset up next, so it's not all bad signs.
නෑ නෑ ඕකේ සෙටින්ස් එහෙම හදලා අර
There's
මේ
definitely a time to be worried.
හරි හරි
if
හරි
you're
වැඩ
Cloud
ගොඩක්
Pacific.
තියෙනවා කරන්න
ඕකේ සෙටින්ස් එහෙම තියෙනවා මාරු විදිහට අර
Clearance of
කියන්නේ
this site with Ackerman, but a big shutdown. T1 playing outside of it, setting the trap and springing it just on time. Nick with a double makes this look a bit more doable The op of Izu on the way, but still miles away. Buzz injects himself onto the site.
T1 ට බලපංකෝ වදිනවා මෙහෙන් ඈ.
But now the rotates are here. Now the ult's in play. Buzz's swing is perfect. Izu's clearing everything, and they will find this round a much-needed win for T1.
මාර ඩීමන් 1 ප්ලේ කරන්නේ චයිනා ටීම් එකකට බලපංකෝ මාර සීන් එකනේ.
And the dimensional drift go through. Like they were clearly very worried that that round could turn on its head. And honestly, with how some of them have gone, I can kind of understand why. Solid openers from DH and Meteor. And I'll be honest, it's another scenario again where I remember seeing Caron added into Gen G and going, oh, that's someone I don't know very much about. There's this young sort of like ranked player who has been thrown in from the T1 Academy. He has been their best player. And I think maybe you could make an argument for Buzz. I don't think you can make an argument for anyone else.
මොකක්ද නේලක ආම් ස්ලීව් එකක් දාන්නේද? ඒක දාන්න බං අර ගොඩක් ප්ලේයර්ස් ලා මචං මේ එල්බෝ එකෙන්නේ මේ එල්බෝ එකෙන්නේ යාලගේ කන්ට්‍රෝල් එක ගන්න අර එල්බෝ එකේ ඇටේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ ඇටේ මචං ටික වෙලාවක් කොහොම කරන් ඉන්නු රිදෙනවා බං. ඒකයි එතන කළු වෙනවා බං. ඒ කියන්නේ ටේබල් එක ඇතිලිලා ඒක ආම් ස්ලීව් නෑ. 40 නෙමෙයි දාලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ අතේ තියෙන මේ ආරක්ෂාවට.
Another round for T1. Just one away now. This is a hell of an opening map.
Yeah, it looks like they've moved much more towards a retake setup. Like a lot of those early fights in the world of retaking. They were the best at having a setup, having utility put into play, sending in Buzz or sending in Izu in this case, and it works out for them. So I'm glad that that's the adaptation they've made. Now DRG aren't just going to sit there and let this game slip away. They've got to pause themselves.
Well, I think this is it. You know, at the start from DRG, you have this very oppressive opening duel ability. You fire in your utility, you take that space, and
DRG ලට ලොකු ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එකක් මේ ඩීමන් 1 ඉන්නේ හින්දා බා. ඒ කියන්නේ DRG ටීම් එකට ලොකු ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් එකක් මේ ඩීමන් 1 වගේ ප්ලේයර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්න එක බා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩීමන් 1 ට මාර එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් ගොඩක් තියෙනවනේ බා ගේම් එකේ.
The thing is with this composition, you have so many tools on your belt to play with. It's not
an ult's a building.
හරි ඒ කියන්නේ උන් ගැහුවට උන්ට වඩා දෙයක් ඩීමන් 1 කරනවනේ බං මැච් වල.
That's why I think it's so valuable. 20 seconds left before the round starts.
ඩීමන් 1 ඒ දවස්වල නම් බං 1v4 ක්ලච් උත් ගහනවා බං ටූර්නමන්ට් වල. ඒ කියන්නේ නිකන් නෝමල් මැච් වල නෙමෙයි ටූර්නමන්ට් වල.
They have to choose where they battle. And a lot of the time when they go to swing into that angle to take that little bit of extra control, Izu's waiting there with the op in hand.
ඒ ඩුවලිස් ගහන කාලේ.
The other thing on the brink for the attack side here is going to be that economy. T1 take this round and they might even be able to extend into the lead off of it. Again, you see these passive actions.
මංගව තියෙන හතරක් විතර බං මේ අර ඉස්සර මේ ක්‍රිකට් ගහද්දි යූස් කරපු
already massive group up from the defense on this B site.
ඔව්
just got DH.
මං ක්‍රිකට් ගහනවා. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මගේ බෝලිං හොඳයි බං බැටින් නම් අවුල් බෝලිං ෆීල්ඩින් හොඳයි මගේ බෝලිං කියන්නේ කියන්නේ හાર્ඩ් බෝල් මම ප්ලේ කරලා නැහැ සොෆ්ට් බෝල් තමයි මේ මොකද්ද ටෙනිස් හරි මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ ප්ලේ කරේ ෆුට්බෝල් බං ඒ කියන්නේ මම ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ ෆුට්බෝල් තමයි ප්ලේ කරේ ඉතින් ෆුට්බෝල් ක්ලබ් ගහන්න අරම ලොකුවට ගියේ නැහැ කැමිල්ලා ඒ කියන්නේ මහන්සි වෙන්න පුළුවන් අනිත් ඔයත් ඉතින් මහන්සි වෙන්න ඕනේ හැමෝම ඔබේ ලයිව් ස්ට්‍රීම් එකේ එනවර ඔව් යකෝ රේසිස් ලයිව් එකක් කියන්නේ නෑ ඒක සීන් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒ කියන්නේ අර ඒක හරි ඒක උඹ කියන එක හරි දැන් ඉතින් හිතපන්කෝ ඇමරිකාව වල ඇත්ලටික් ටීම් වල ඉන්න ඇමරිකන් මේ සිටිසන් ලද නෑනේ ඇමරිකාවේ ඇත්ලටික් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නේ කවුද ඔක්කොම ඉන්නේ මේ කළු ජාතිකයි මචං ඒ ඇයි එයාලගේ දරා ගැනීම ඒ ඔක්කොම මේ එනර්ජි ඔක්කොම මේ වැඩි හින්දා කියන්නේ අවුට්ඩෝර් ප්ලේ කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒක ඔබ කියන කතාව ඇත්ත ඒක ලොජිකලි ෆිසිකලි දෙකෙන්ම
I think DH gets caught there. Like, they use the dimensional drift, spotting him with the stun, and there's no real way out. Izu, he's sure
nice one,
out of that one alive, but
This
manages the one.
Dorwati
This is in quite a bit of trouble. I think both pauses are already gone, but more importantly, they are going into what could be the last round of the map with, well, I'd say a stinky buy.
Yeah, it depends where they settle on their investment, but I think no matter what, there will be big weaknesses for T1. And yeah, you know, you got rid of the Rolling Thunder. Dimensional Drift from Spirit Z1, fantastic. DRG don't have as much of a punch to pack in this round in terms of those safety nets, but let's see what T1 can do with this mixed bag. Izu's got one. Buzz on the Bucky finds another in this round. Off to a flying start for T1. We thought they'd look weaker, but somehow it's like the cleanest start they've had.
Yeah, it started so weird. Ackerman flying over most of his enemies and then getting caught out, surprised by Izu. Pretty hefty upgrade as well for Barzamon. Near keeps it optimistic. With the spike down, a 1v5.
දැන් අපි හිතපන් ඔය සිටුේෂන් එක ඩීමන් වන් ක්ලච් කරෝ.
Devil himself to show up to be able to eliminate the rest of these players. I don't think it's going to be happening. And even just damage here might have bad. Instead though, it's a flawless round. Buzz there to close it, and when T1 looked like they were dead and buried, they find a round.
Even in the end of the round, another delivery from Stax is revealed. The Hans have been huge, and at the start, plays a similar role. Giving them that info, target selection for Buzz was easy as a result. And as you said, the fact that Izu's able to get away with that is ridiculous. Great fight, and as well, this is the round that should have seen T1 fade into obscurity. Now, they fight on an even playing field against DRG for the final round of regulation. Overtime possible. For DRG, they're competing for their organization's first win on the international stage. Losing this, it'll be much harder.
Already a solid start. Buzz has been dealt with. Stax and Meteor though. In turn, Stax wanting to get back in there, but he's got to be careful. Low HP. T1 being revealed only has the shorty to play with, but now he gets it all. Looks to take it back. Izu though has fought in form. They have matched each other man for man.
2v3.
Still though.
Look at
the position of the spike getting it back. Is he going to be able to block this? No, it takes more than one to do so, so that's at least the spike back into their hands. I am looking, however, at DH. He's making that read early that this team might just try a move for the A site.
Thing is, though, they're in this 3v2. Playing the retake could have a lot of value. For DH, he has to be very selective about where and when he fights. Already dropped down towards the A side.
Situation
They know they've already taken out the ice on the other side. Meteor's utility gone, but it will be the A side that's the ultimate target. A sneaky play here from DH, but it all comes down to timing.
DH you right? DH you right?
But they've decided to leave him.
DH Adu, why drop balan natte?
DH, if he can just drop this spike, it could all be over here.
Nice one, ba.
The spike gets planted, but Nick is left alone. If he doesn't find this pick, they will overwhelm him with numbers, and DH slips away to the tree. Nick against the world. He's had so many big plays. The decoy reveals him.
Nice one. Oh my god, bang.
Adu. Taking this across the line, bringing T1 into an overtime, giving them a chance to deny the map where they've looked.
Nice, ba. Just put in my light take mark lena.
What an absolute mad round. Both teams kicking things off with a steel garden. Shorty being the gun of the round. And Nick, well, that was one hell of a try. He was actually stuck in place by a seize that was thrown by a Stax. So he gets those first two, probably wants to try and move in that direction, but isn't able to reposition. And DH, once again, spoken about this youngster coming into the squad, replacing a member who helped bring home a Masters trophy. And right now, he is the best player in the server.
Well, overtime for DRG. They had the lead.
එතන හදිස්සියට nice ගැහුවා නම් shot එක.
Now T1
nice
could be
තමයි
right
man
back
of the
to
match.
winning ways. On the attack side, RT1. But look at this stack up from DRG. There's 4 players here. Previously, we've seen them fight tooth and nail for A, and T1 have been keen to take that space when it's given. But now it's a trap that's sprung. Flexing through the door, grabs one before falling. The numbers even. It's Nick with the pressure on his shoulders again. This time he delivers, but the slide in from Buzz. Punished for the 2 versus 1. DH reads that that's the decoy. He might have to jump on Spirit. Z1, a 3rd kill. And the TP taken to the other side of the map. A plant and a 1v1. How many clutches has Demon 1 be in? But this one, the most important of all.
TP up top.
ඕමන්දගන්න
They open the door.
මොකේ level 5 account
tried to bait the idea that he is
level 5
coming
account
from
එකකින්
this
ගහන්න
position,
සීක.
but I feel like it's going to take him so long to go all the way back around. And once that's not faced, DH will have the idea that this
Oh,
man
ठीक है
is
गया
no
बा?
longer in position. In fact, it's such an obscure angle. I don't even know if Demon 1 will expect this at all. And the problem is now that clock
Yeah,
is
Unang hari.
starting to tick down. Starting to be
Oh my god.
played it to perfection again. Where have they found this man?
ආව බා. ඕ එතන හිටපු එක ඩීමන්ට ලොකෝට ඔලුවට ගියේ නෑ.
And don't get me wrong, DH has been playing the game all throughout regulation, but these last 2 rounds, he has hit another level entirely. What a play in the worst
DH ගහනවා හොඳට නේ.
catches both players completely off guard.
ඒකවඩවත් හිතුවේ නෑ මේ
And a
එතන උඩ ඇති කියලා නේ.
to deliver
Demon one
T1
better
the
than
lead. 1 round left.
යම ඇන්ගල් එක නෑ
They were trailing.
මන් ගහනවා නම් ඔන්න ක්ලච් කරගන්න ඇන්ගල්
With weak weapons.
එයාට අපේ රෑන්ක් වල ඔතන උඩ box එක බලනවා බා ඒක නේ
Across
උඩ.
the board, and they came back in with a dominant win.
ජීවිතේට හිතන්නේ
DH for
ඔතන
2,
ඔව්.
giving them the lead, and with a timeout for DRG. The team that looked set to
Brain
close
red
out
career.
this map. It's the set history for the Roar. Well, now they've got to climb back into the game.
It is funny to think
අවුලුවන්
that
නිවන එක්ක මුංගේ
while
තෝච්ලා
we talk about Demon 1 not really playing for the last few months. When he was last playing, it was at least in the Tier 1 over in Americas. For DH, this is a guy who's playing in the
මොනිටර්
Tier
එක පේන්නේ
2
දිදුරෙන් දීලා තියෙන්නේ
and
ඔව් යකෝ කොහොමද බලපන් මොන්ට් එක තියෙන
map on an
සමහරවුන්
international
S2 එකේ තියෙන මොන්ට් එක බා.
I don't know where, I don't know if they're building these like young players in a lab. Like Caron felt like it was just cheating to have someone that good. DH now feels exactly the same.
bro diffuse
27 and 16. He is dragging players like Meteor, Buzz, Stacks, Izu, people who've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, to potentially the first map. But boy, might just have to do it again. Buzz within the first seconds of the round is dead.
අඩු මට තේරෙන්නේ සිංගප්පූර් රීජන් ගහනකොට ටයිම් එක හේන සීරියස් ආරේට්
Seen him
ගහන්න
do it
කියලා
not
මගේ
that many rounds ago when DRG were on the attack. That it looks like they'll still commit to this A site. Demon 1 holding the flank. This could be a mistake.
Low
There's
1
so
HP,
many players
GG.
here. Stacks traded out. DH going to burn the paranoia just to deny the space. Slow them down.
Well, look at the rotation.
ඒක ඇයි බා රවුන්ඩ් 15ක් විතර
Do they call for the rotate
Oh,
back? It
bahala
looks like
කරලා
they
දැන් මේ
built the
කොහොමද
Charukz
ගහනවා
in
බා
position.
මේ.
Holding that cross.
Nice බා
Flexes
කොහොමද
on him. Finding
flexing ගේ.
strength in the scars he's been dealt on A-main.
ඔප් එකට පීක් කරේ බා.
They'll still move towards this site. And the numbers are still here for T1. At least they were.
Oh, maybe the only one that really matters is still here.
ඊට ප්ලෑන් කරලා
He would basically win them overtime if he
අම්මට
could
තිරි
somehow hold
බලපන්
on to this
මේ
35 seconds and decisions.
මෙට්‍රෝ
are there
එනවා
to be
මචං
made.
ෆ්ලෑන්ක් එකක් තඩි ෆ්ලෑන්ක් එකක්
Meteor
එන්නේ
is
යන්නේ
left
මෙට්‍රෝ
his
හරිද?
team. I'm surprised they're splitting up. I'm surprised that's the decision.
ඉවරයි බා.
This time DH can't save them. Ackerman will put him in the dirt and Meteor so far away. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think the best case they had was to try and fight this
4v1
too.
නෑ.
Now he has to fight a 1v4.
මෙට්‍රෝ C වලට ගියා. C වලින් වෙන්නේ බා.
ඒකනේ
ඉතින් හරි
Chances.
මෙට්‍රෝ හිටුවේ
Now that
හරි
he's being
ඉවරයි.
spotted looking
See
pretty
ya.
bad. There goes the
ඉවරයි බා.
ultimate on him.
අම්මට
Ackerman
කොහොමද?
won the ball, but the spams through the wall. Even us up to
ඒ කියන්නේ බං උන් හෙඩ් ලෙවල් මනේ බං තියන් ඉන්නේ.
overtime needed.
හෙඩ් ලෙවල් ඉතින් ආයේ
DRG Those opening picks on the attack from Ackerman there. They are everything for this squad.
Well, this is like when I go back to the Izu in the defensive half. That's what I'm expecting to see. Like, get no interest of like trying to double down, try and be a hero of the round. He's just get the opener and escape. And that's where I think Ackerman is true.
ඒ කියන්නේ එතන අවුල තියෙන බං වේලේ එන එක නෙමෙයි බං. වේලේට පුළුවන් බං ඒක ඩබල් ඩෑෂ් එක ආයේ අනිත් පැත්තට බෑක් වෙන්න. ඒකින්ද උන් ලොකුවට ගහන්න try කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් මොකද එක ෂොට් එකක් හරි වැදුනොත් ඌ ටක් ගාලා බෑක් වෙනවා බං.
Viper low.
Four players towards this site. T1 making a quick read again. They're giving up that
Bro,
space. What
fuck?
happened last time? It was a trap play with a lot of players in position. Expecting the same here, and although he's won't make the mistake he did
රීටේක් ගහන්නේ බං. මං හිතන්නේ රීටේක් වලට ගහන්න එකයි.
push down, give it
හරි හරි.
for the rotations. Demon 1 won't fall for that spot again. But now they're closing in
ගැහුවා.
distance. Well
හරි.
played to find the first. Spirit C1 from the back lines delivering again at a 3 versus 2.
3 versus
Defensive
2.
round looking
2 versus 2
likely,
එක
but with
කියන්නේ.
that coming down, we're back to a 2v2 and T1 have got a plant.
මේක යන්න හෙන්න ලොකු මේ OT එකකට රවුන්ඩ් 40ක් විතර ගහයි මට හිතෙන විදිහට මේක බං ඉවර වෙන්න.
උරුයන්නේ round 40ක් කියන්නේ නැහැ නේ කවුරු.
උඹ දැකලා නැද්ද අයියකෝ ටූර්නමන්ට් වල එහෙම යනවා. යකෝ ඇස්පස් අර කිල්ලසු ගානක් ගහන්නේ. ටූර්නමන්ට් එකේ OT ගිහිල්ලා ගහන්නේ බං.
They need to get a move on. First contact in. Izu gets
මං කිව්වේ.
It is close. But Meteor will make sure that they're the
Metro
ones
game
that
එක හොඳයි
get
නේද
another
කෑ?
chance at victory.
ඕකින්නේ උන්ගේ ඉතින් එම් හොඳයි ආ කියන්න දෙයක් නැහැ
Last
නේ.
time it was a timeout call.
ඔව් බං. ගහන්න බෑ ඔව්.
Actually, I'm seeing in game it's going to be a timeout again, Tom, but it's T1 this time taking the breather. Interesting call as they're in the lead, but they did let it slip a couple of times, so why not?
I think also just this is where you need a cheese round. This is where you need one thing to work for your squad, and then you close out the map. This is the perfect time for the coach to come in, because realistically, if you're a round down, you take a pause, you're basically looking to fix something like switching into another half. Like the round you just lost wouldn't be a round not playing that side of the map anymore. Now, you're coming in, and it has only been those attack side rounds that have been working for either side. This is what they needed to fix. One defensive round, and this game is over, and the coach earns his money.
One of the big strengths for T1, thinking back on towards the end of regulation, at 12-10 down, they go for this all-out play of aggression towards A main, something that I think we're used to seeing from DRG on the defensive side. We're used to seeing from most teams, but it was getting Buzz into this deep spot, swing an open door, and having just this all-out brawl.
The focal point of that was Stacks. He might be bottom of the board, but the amount of supportive assists that he has had.
His haunts are unreal.
Yeah, they have been... Dare I say, some of the best I've ever seen. Like, it catches someone every single round. In fact, it catches multiple people most rounds. Looking like it might be slightly different, though. You've got Izu set up outside of B. He's got that operator in hand, and they will take that control. But the second they take it, Stacks is immediately back to go and support the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, the honk goes up and no utility as a response. Nobody's seen. It's now time to reinforce this C site. But it might be too late. By the time it gets there, already teed up for the push. DRG straight in. Meteor under pressure. He's surrounded. Stacks comes in to help and finds the first.
All mid, all.
Stacks.
All mid, all mid.
And he might have delivered them the win.
මට සිරි කියපන්කෝ.
Has to stand off against the off. And even then,
ඉවරයි බං. ඒක ලෝටස් එක ගැහුවා බං T1 ලා.
to 13. T1 climb back.
අරෝට ෂොට් එක මිස් වුණා.
Defeat and claim map 1. DRG's pick.
Yeah, what an incredible start to this series. One that feels like it could go all the difference to 3, but we will have to wait and see. We'll be back with Sunset after the break.
BS තරුන්ගේ යාළුවෙක්.
Now that I'm a mom,
මොකද හද්දේ?
things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
An update is required. Financial system updating.
I love play.
System
Blind dilat gahan.
The future of money is here.
Udah main dah.
Feels good.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with Valorant.
If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty. And goes crazy.
They've all battled through the pressure and expectation.
Heretics have come back all the way.
Finally, everyone. Finally.
අම්මට ශ්‍රීලකට යන්නේ සුපිරි මැච් එකක් නේද ලගේ G2 ටීම් හෙරිටෙක්ස් කියන්නේ සුපිරි මැච් එකක් බා ඒක නම් ඉතින් බලන්න දෙන්න G2 ල ගහයි ඒ වුණාට ටීම් හෙරිටෙක්ස් ලත් ගහනවා හොඳට ඔව් බං මේ සෙන්ටිනල්ලා මොනවා කරගත්තද මන්ද බං පිස්සුනේ බං
Sentinel කියන්නේ මෝඩියෝ බං.
නෑ මෙහෙමයි උන්ගේ ගේම් ප්ලෑන් එකකුත් ඇති. ඒ කියන්නේ අර ලෝ බ්‍රැකට් ප්ලේ කරන. එතකොට ඉතින් වැඩක් නෑනේ බං. ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම චාටර් නේ. ලෝ බ්‍රැකට්
වගේ ට්‍රැක් කාරේ ටිකක් තමයි Sentinel එකේ තින්නේ ඒකයි රාදී.
අනේ මන්දානේ.
Enemy down.
Joke's over. You're dead.
One enemy remaining. Spike crush. 30 seconds left. Nothing there. My ult is not ready. Stop the movement.
Hey guys, Mika and Bella here with Autumn of T1. And now Autumn, this is DH's first international and he is popping off. We know back in Pacific that T1 has been preparing him for this very moment with events like T1 Homeground. But talk to us how the team, the Masters Bangkok champions, of course, have been preparing him for this very moment here on the champion stage.
오늘 경기가 DH 선수의 첫 국제전 데뷔이자 첫 경기였는데 오늘 너무 멋진 경기력을 보여주고 있습니다. 이제 방콕 마스터즈 방콕 우승자인 T1 선수들이 팀으로서 어떤 이야기를 해줬길래 이렇게 잘할 수 있었나요?
사실 팀원들이 그 친구한테 뭐라 해줄 필요가 없이 워낙 큰 무대에서 자신감 있게 할 수 있는 것을 증명했기 때문에 콜업이 된 선수여서 팀원들이 이제 하는 거는 그냥 하던 대로만 해라. 자신감 있게 너무 잘하더라고요. 알아서.
Well, we didn't really have anything to tell him because DH was called up. He joined our roster because he was able to be confident on big stages like this. He was born ready. And I guess the team just said, hey, just keep doing what you've been doing because, you know, we all saw how good DH was and he really proved himself today.
Well, he better keep doing what he's doing. He is a natural. The next map comes from Nida.
Like
I said before, when has a Korean rookie ever failed us? What a debut for DH here on the global stage. I've got Dan and Doug here with me. Once again, these numbers, this is ridiculous. And if he keeps doing these, you know, he's going to have a nice time in Paris.
Yeah, I think he's going to do quite fine. The stats are fine, and they're good, and he put up really good numbers. But what impressed me most about this kid was how often he was in clutch 1v1 situations, and he was the one winning them out. And he was winning them out against the likes of, it felt like Demon 1 every time. He was constantly in those positions, but that boy stood his ground. He was incredible.
I mean, pretty much the reason why they won this map too in that overtime, when he gets 4 kills.
Don't line up. Don't line up.
Go into that second one, and finally they're able to close it out with stats. DH has been incredible. He was good towards the beginning, and he was good as well to keep T1 alive.
And it's time for our Horizon high-speed moment, and this one goes to what a fantastic retake from them. We saw so many of these as well. This wasn't an isolated incident.
Boys, I think there were really good protocols when it came to the retake situation for DRG, and I think this map does this clip does a really good job of doing it. I talked about it yesterday, I believe. Not a huge fan of the Waylay, but I love the way they use the Waylay out there in order to take space, and then they swung behind it. I think so oftentimes that can be an issue. You can drop the ult, but do you have enough space? Do you boldly and do you confidently swing out to take those fights? And that's not always how it plays out. So I love the way they play that.
Especially because when you see T1 on the attack, they're very overwhelming. They'd like to take a lot of space, and if that doesn't work towards A side, as we saw multiple times in a row, they pivot very quickly towards B. So this time around, you see how it was a forced retake in a few of those rounds, but it was working out so well for the side of DSG.
Okay, so one of the things I love about international events is seeing the meta change, and this is a wild example of that. Again, not a huge Waylay fan at the beginning, but you've seen a lot of these teams double down on this Waylay flash setup, and you're seeing some of these to perfection on how they love to do it. And so the plan for DRG was either with the Neon, or with the Yoru, or with the Breach. This is a great example. You had the Yoru flash, you had the Breach flash, Ackman takes that space, pops up onto half wall, and is able to isolate those fights, and then gets out. And so as we see the meta develop in this tournament, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. What can you do to get Waylay in a really good spot to take a fight with flash, with setups, this, that, and the other, and then get the heck out of dodge? When you have a numbers advantage like that early in a round, you're set up so well to succeed.
You also see it on attack and some of the things that they were doing, trying to get that space early on towards Mount. And even if he doesn't capitalize with one of those kills, you still see how it forces a lot of that utility from the defense out to work out so well.
Yeah, I think that was the other thing I wanted to touch on. So even if it isn't necessarily a set, but to get a kill with a Breach flash, a Yoru flash, this, that, and the other, we saw so many times Omen flashes burn because they heard somebody out there, and then TP away. All of a sudden you've got 4 or 5 rotating back to A when you thought there was more presence C. The TP for Waylay and then setting Waylay up to take those fights has been a ton of fun to watch.
My concern is DRG, they did let that slip. You know, when they were 11, 7, 11, 8 up, they should have closed that out. And also, they only won 9 gun rounds. 9! Which is absolutely outrageous given that it went to OT, so I can't wait to see what Nathan D had to say about what happened ahead of map 2.
Guys, Amika and Vera here with Nathan D of DRG. Now, just wanted to get your thoughts on the Yoru and Waylay composition, because the team seems to have a really good understanding on it, especially on that map and especially with the retakes. Was this always the plan, especially with the recent roster adjustments?
想问一下教练，看到你们在图一是拿出了夜路加上幻冷的组合，并且看到你们的理解是非常到位的。那最近队内也有人员的变动，这一场的发挥在你们的计划之中吗
？Last round in the half。
我觉得我们今天的发挥的话，其实我是挺满意的。就是我们输掉一些可能残局上的处理，然后围垒的话也是我们可能想打得比较突然一点，给对面一点措手不及的感觉。
Actually, I'm pretty satisfied with all the players' performance today. Like for the Waylay pick, I just want to say we fixed some problems with the former Neon comps. We want to play more aggressive and maybe catch our enemy off guard.
Well, the team is looking good. Hopefully, you bounce back on the next map. Thank you.
One of the other things he was sort of alluding to is that where they lost was in the late rounds. You know, he was like, I'm happy with how he performed, but in the late rounds, there was a difference maker between us and T1, and he's right. But it does get scarier on Sunset. DRG, they really need to step it up.
I do think Sunset's a fun one because both teams are 4-1. Both teams have bested the best teams in their respective regions on this map. So you've got DRG, who's able to walk away with 2 wins against Billy, and then you've got T1, who's bested RRQ on Sunset twice. So these are strengths for both teams. I'm curious about what the heck is Demon 1 gonna play? And do they double down, which I think they will. I mean, I'm inclined to believe they will. Do they double down on this Flash Waylay situation? I think Sunset kind of lends itself to it a little bit more, to be honest.
If it helps, Demon 1 has only ever played Raze and Jet on Sunset, and nothing else.
Don't think he'll be playing either of those this time.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's take a look at Agent Select now and see where we are going to go with this. It's
Demon 1 gahane Cypher bang.
I guess stepping in 1-for-1 at this point.
Yeah, we had the question because it didn't really happen.
Demon and not පුළුවන් මන් දන්නවා ඉච්චරයි ගහමු ගැම්මට.
It's going to be Demon 1 on that Cypher, and they're going to continue playing this double duelist with that Neon and that Euro.
Yeah, the real difference here is the fade over the Sova. I think this puts us into this conversation we've been having around Demon 1 on an island, on the Cypher specifically. This feels like they've just slotted him exactly
Dragon range game
wanted to have prior.
They've done the swap again. It's Izu, Yoru, and Buzz Neon. Do you like this?
Yeah, it's now 2 maps in a row where they seem that this is like a very intentional thing. I'm curious, is it a comfort situation? Does Izu just feel more comfortable on the Yoru? It's tough to say, really.
And also in the map 1, we saw so many great duels between Demon 1 and Meteor. Now they're in the same agent. They're both playing Cypher. They're going to that second map. I want to see more of those duels again.
I can't wait to see it. Let's jump into game and throw this back to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you, Yinsu. It's time to get into map number 2. The first was a tight affair, but T1 are leading by 1 map. And this is their choice on Sunset. Another debut for Demon 1 as he picks up the Cypher, sticking onto that role as we would expect.
Yeah, I like the fact that DRG have not come in and try and change everything up around him. You're the team that qualified. You're the team that made it. He's got a slot into your right. And I don't think, like, by any stretch of the imagination, he came in trying to change it either. Cypher definitely can be tougher on that hole, but at least for now, it's going to be DH continuing how he did on the last map. A fantastic individual performance. And wow, a recovery already needed in this pistol. It is a firing squad with DH leading the scoreboard already. And while Buzz is there to close it out, a pistol round for T1.
A solid start indeed for T1 as DRG trail by 1, but they were able to make the fight fairly early on in the previous. See if that'll be the case again. DH, well, he was certainly a man that drew our eye throughout the entirety of regulation over on Lotus, but in those last couple rounds, the last round of regulation, especially the first of overtime, yeah, he seemed like a one-man army.
Well, for a 19-year-old playing his first map on an international stage and as a champion, that was about as good as it gets.
Yeah, especially in the late stage. Pressure was on for DRG. The pressure increases. They need 2 maps in a row. And starting out with a 1-0 loss, and Meteor's playing incredibly aggressive with the Marshall in hand.
I think he's hit 0 shots.
Yes, they were mostly through the smoke, so I'll give him that credit. But it certainly scared DRG away. They grabbed the orb and moved towards middle. This is all classics, nothing upgraded.
There we go.
You really don't expect to see a lot of contest. Meteor good for 2 at least. The player spotted crossing with a jump scare from Buzz. And they're losing a few, but that's a piss. Okay, now I'm getting worried. Now I'm getting really worried. And they know where DH is as well. This man's been so reliable, but an early response like this from DRG, it's going to really
there we go.
disrupt the rhythm. A rifle, but only 30 HP, Tom. He's got to get the jump on DH.
Will do it. That's the thing. DH has light shield, so a single bullet to the face would be enough to win the round. Now, he believes that he has baited
30 seconds left.
DH, but DH has just sat at the bottom of middle. He's waiting on this fight, and it gets a little bit scary. But that youngster is the safe pair of hands again. He's looking to try and get the rifle, and he will find it.
I do.
Yeah, that's at least a silver lining, but the same as the previous map. It's great damage from DRG. They had nothing. And a few more bullets loaded up into that. Marshall, maybe. This could have been a clean round, but the fact that these classics are able to win fights like this from Ackerman straight down middle. Made that incredibly close. You can see how tense it got on T1's side of the stage. They win it, but again, they have to invest fully.
Round. Oh, it's a singular rifle being put into the hands of Buzz. The rest really isn't much, but well, if Buzz is playing like this, maybe it won't matter. This is a terrible bonus round coming in from T1, but somehow it's working. They came in with a singular rifle, I think a stinger and a few pistols.
Yep.
And now Demon 1 has to try and save DRG from, I want to say, embarrassment.
Now, this is not a round they should be losing. But Demon 1 in a 1v3. 2 players on that angle. Spike secured as well. He's got all the info to work with now at least, but what is that going to do for him? And I love this positioning as well. Look how spread out they are. Buzz to take contact on his right, and then a big swing from Izu. He's tucked in though. He set himself up for success, Demon 1 did, but Buzz, the one to carry this round through for T1. I'm thinking before we get back into the game, okay, they've got to fully invest, right? We get in a barrier up, they've got nothing. Oh, it's an easy round. That's what you would think, but Buzz made it an uphill battle, and they came tumbling down. 3-0 start.
Again, you just talk about the supportive utility, the paranoia that came through. I think Stax is the one that, yeah, he puts that dart into the corner. And as they swap to look to the dart, that's when Buzz peaks. Like, it's just a perfect setup for that exact push. And while DRG fell into the trap, they lose to an incredibly weak bonus, and T1 have got a flying start.
This round, light shields across the board. Easy with the outlaw.
A lot of stingers though.
Yeah, they've got to get close. That's the real problem. Those shots don't land. The gate crash is used to get out of dodge before. That's a little too scary. Now, those stingers are nice and close. All of these fights look maybe even favorable for them. T1 have to group, take these fights together. It's Izu looking for some on his own, but around that laneway, when they come to push back in, that's where DRG really pack a punch, not just on close range, but with the numbers by their side as well. Flexen picks up a double. Spirit Z1 there as well. This could be DRG's round. A return. A MasterCard Thrifty as they put one on the board on their weaker round. That's one way to reset after a third round embarrassment.
If we could just swap the last 2 rounds over, I think we have a perfect normal game. But no, it is just the pace they were able to get in. Obviously, Buzz was so low. That second kill was very easy. But then onwards, it's just stellar work. Playing these close range angles, knowing the vulnerabilities of their weaponry. Flexing and Spirit Z1 have now given them a round they never should have had. Restored 3-1, and this is where we'll see the buy. A pretty strong one coming back up for T1 with an operator for Izu.
So far, the best rounds from DRG, where they've got 4 stingers, and the next best was when they had classics. And it wasn't a pistol round either. A very, very strange start. This has been an unusual series, looking back at Lotus. Now rifles invested on both sides. For T1, taking a pretty heavy blow in the last, but a 3-0 start, especially when they didn't buy in round 3, that's going to give them enough to buy right back into this. Buzz has ultimate to work with, but I'm looking at the other side for DRG. Ackerman 1 away, but Spirit Z1 already has that dimensional drift, and on the attack side, that's probably going to be used here to clear up all this space and maybe stop Izu from having the impact with the operator. He's on the angle, waiting for his chance to strike, and there it is! The gate crash back to safety. But Spirit Z1, he's got the sight for them.
Yeah, just clearing out any risky angles will allow the rest of the team to run through clean, although saying that, Meteor's managed to find one on the cross. I think that's Demon 1 trying to jump around the edge, and instead, another solid paranoia thrown through to give Buzz a little bit more TP to the other side. It leaves Nick, but he's done well. He's managed to make this one look interesting. Flex implants on the other side of the map, and now has a 1 versus 2 to play with.
Well, Flexen's first half on Lotus was a disaster class. It was picked off in A main, it felt like in every round. But here's his chance. He certainly warmed up in the second. Now carried through that momentum. to a 1 versus 2. He's got Izu and DH, 2 big players for T1. The operator swapped out. It is just the rifle.
Very nice one.
Flexen isolates one. 10 bullets left, but time ticking. Playing inside his smoke. He can challenge as soon as it's tapped, but Izu! He expected it. Lands the shot with plenty of time. I think he's putting the gate crash through to attempt to reclaim that up, but surely it's too far.
Aduh, balapan කොහොමද මේ shot එක?
It's not going to get it. Even still, though, a very nice attempt for the remaining couple of players to teleport to the other side of the map. Nick being able to get a couple, and then coming down to the wire. This reaction shot is tasty from Izu. I think even he's impressed with himself. And what could have been a close clutch for DRG ends up putting them back in a problematic scenario. Then again, you said it yourself. It did better with the Stingers.
Yeah, we're right back to it. But only 2 Stingers this time. They've still got those rifles to back them up. Demon 1 and Spirit Z1, the carriers of the heavy weaponry. And this will be, again, a round where DRG move together. And still going to be disrupted by Izu. And nasty angle in mid. That's Ackerman down. And especially in a round like this, Tom, especially with a Stinger, seeing him slide, close that distance, gain you space. You really want your Neon for a round like this. Huge pick from Izu. And he keeps the control on mid as well. That gate crash, not even that close to fading, so he can stick around for quite a while.
They've not been able to clear him either. So he's still going to have this very fast flank, and because of that, they have a very good idea that there hasn't been a rotation. 3 players still committed to this B side of the map as they look to try and make their way through.
Oh, a missed shot by DH though. That's given them an opportunity on DRG. When they got the plant, that's where things changed with Stingers in hand. This time it's beforehand. When Flexen goes diving into market, they've got good control, and Demon 1 lands his shot on backside. Stax might have to back off. He's sticking around. He's getting up close. He'll get the jump on Flexen, but the correction for Demon 1 isn't there. Meteor alone, and Nick will put him in the grave. They really are better when these weaker weapons come out as second round for DRG.
I'm not sure it's they. I think it's Flexen. I think Flexen's just very, very good with the Stinger. Like, he's a little bit more aggressive in the way that he plays. Like, just looks to try and get up in their face the second he has this gun. And yeah, just look, he's TPing into angles, just playing up close. And Demon 1 also having a solid round at that. Definitely some frustration, and you can understand why. They've lost 2 rounds, and both of them, the core of it, has been Stingers.
Yeah, those are the rounds that, you know, you've already done the hard work. Then it's just about converting your advantage, doubling down on it. Aggressive play, Flexen under pressure. Stax already wrapping around, and Flexen won't escape. The wall bang to connect the pick and get a rifle. Or the T1 side, it's the only one they have to work with. Look at DRG, they're walking into the spawn. They're taking a very deep fight. Meteor will contain them at least alongside Buzz. It's all about avoiding that rifle for them.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they go into A, they're actually going to plant for backside. I don't mind this, but it does mean that they're almost completely surrounded. Stax is actually going to try and utilize the Hunter's Fury, and the rest of them, while this is going on, are putting the pressure onto Spirit Z1. They keep the advantage, and Izu is now the one that's been given that rifle. It's whether or not they can retrieve the other. Doesn't seem like it. They're going to split back in the other direction, try and group up as DH still creates the illusion that there's a player here, and in the meantime, Izu goes walkabouts. Now they have the dimensional drift. They can find everyone else.
Drops the rifle over as well, picks up another as he's running around the site. Ackerman and Nick have their work cut out for them. Good for the first. The trade out makes it possible, but Meteor's classic is what takes them across the line.
This game is weird.
Course correction from T1, but I don't know what is going to happen next here. As a MasterCard Thrifty won out by the defensive side. Continues the madness of not just this map, but this series.
So yeah, you've got the first 2 rounds, then you've got T1 winning a round that was 1 rifle, pistols, and a Stinger. Then you've got the opposing side winning around with almost all Stingers. Then a normal-ish round. And then, well, actually, no, it was an 8 HP clutch. Never mind, wasn't that normal. Then you have another Stinger round, and then you have this round. It's weird. And while T1, I'm sure Autumn, he's kind of got to retract his slamming on the table, because now they've ended up in, I guess, an even better spot. But they're up against Stingers again, so who the hell knows?
Well, we've seen it with 4, we've seen it with 2.
These are warning shots. He's spraying the Stinger. He's like, now they know I'm coming.
Well, they certainly do. All that utility fired through, but Spirit C1 the first of all flex it again. But Stack steps up. A 3 versus 2 that they find themselves in. The TP to backside for early control, and it might not even be needed. Demon 1 all alone. Last time, he had a pretty hefty disadvantage, but this 1v3, a Guardian in hand. And a good idea of where this player is. He is checking this left corner. DH needs to be quick on the trigger, and he will be shut down. The spike, though, is not in a good position. With no cage left to cover the cross, that off could... What? A jump shot with the Guardian. That's one hell of an attempt. Now he knows that that op is on the other side, but hitting this shot will be difficult. Uses the cam to bait him out, and he's done so successfully, but he can't land the shot, and the stun sends him running back. The classic round the corner, that's a risky play. They've given Demon 1 a chance, and he may land this shot, but it's 1 bullet in the mag. Not enough as Buzz lands his, and 6-2 on the board. Again, though, anything but a normal round.
Yeah, I feel like they fully believed he was hit by that stun. That's the only reason I can think of that Izu would run around that corner with a classic, but it just feels like at times T1 want to make this as uncomfortable for them. And I'm guessing their fans at home as possible, because that was way too close. Who's Greg?
I think it might be that he's tracked. I'll tell you that. 6-2. The lead for T1.
Well, they find it funny.
They've been slamming desks in the coaching booth.
I need sort of like that side by side, like just like Autumn slamming the desk and then cut to DX, just laughing his head off.
Yeah.
Like it's just the parallel of the coaching staff versus in the server, and I can definitely understand why, because although they are winning in some of the weirdest ways I've ever seen.
Without a doubt. A 4-round lead, but with the way this game has gone, it could be swinging either way. For DRG, though, this is a disastrous start. Of course, they're on their opponent's map pick, and having been so close to closing out Lotus. A few big clutches, big rounds from DH, the man that was happy down on that stage. That's what robbed them of it. And now you start to be left in the dust as T1 run away with it despite incredibly close rounds, despite winning 2 where they had extremely light buys, essentially saving their credits for the next and somehow finding it there. But when the next came, it was defeat.
They also lost 2 in the exact same way. Yeah. So it's kind of
perfectly balanced.
In essence, yes, but in the feel of the match, no. Like, I feel like the last map was a lot closer, but not with this much insanity.
Yeah.
But hey, for T1, they're on their map choice. At times, they have been fairly dominant when it comes to the defense, but in their most recent match versus RRQ, it was the attack that they ran away with. So, scoreline alone, I think they'll be very happy with the position they find themselves in. At the same time, in their most recent victory versus BLG, it was a 10-2 defensive half for DRG. Now, saying they can recreate that, again, with how things are going so far, maybe not so likely. They're going to want at least a little bit of wiggle room.
I think the interesting thing about this, and I know you folks are getting your stage shots, but when we get back into the game, you'll see that T1 actually left in a suboptimal position.
What do you mean? They have a Stinger. That's a great
They have to play with a Stinger despite winning 2 rounds in a row, and I think that really tells the story of how this has gone. A streak of 2, but every round has been so damn close.
Well, what I've been told as well is that although we do currently have ourselves a technical pause, DRG are going to take a tactical pause directly after this. So this may be a slightly elongated pause for more than one reason. Because I can understand.
Live?
Linus Tactics. මේ මොකද්ද මම මේ ගේම් දාන ටෙක් පෝට් කියන්නේ
අනේ මන්ද මොකේද
මේක ටෙක්නිකල් පෝස් එකක් කරේ මොකක් කරේ
ඔව් ටෙක්නිකල් පෝස් එක මේ අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ ගිය මොකක් හරි කාගේ හරි මේ එක හෙඩ්ෆෝන් හරි මොන හරි මේ ලූස් කනෙක්ෂන් ගිහලා
you start getting yourself into the half, you show something with your buy rounds that you're able to sort of maybe bait players into certain fights or get certain map control, then I'm not worried for you. But when they're the only rounds you're winning, that shows that, okay, it's only these cheese rounds where you're able to get up close in someone's face and spray them down with an SMG. That probably means that this attack side is going as bad as it could be.
මවුස් එහෙමනම් මං හිතන්නේ නැහැ උන්ගේ මේ ප්‍රයිමරි මවුස් එකනේ ගෙනියන්නේ මෙහෙන් දෙන
as we sort of mentioned,
equipment වල තමයි අවුල යන්නේ
not only of this match but the whole tournament of them not just trying to battle
දෙකක් විතර අරන් යන
all of everybody's here, but also they still have their life on the line just being in tier 1. They are one of 2 teams that is the case. And you then have to consider the group that they're in. Like, okay, sure, a match versus Sentinels is a tough one, but you're going to be up against either the previous year's champions finalist or G2, who most people coming into this event put them at least top 2. Like, you're either having breaks for the whole thing. So it is seeming like the loser of this match has got a tougher match in the lower bracket.
And I want to look back at the previous map. You know, DRG, they didn't win the first half. They were 7-5, but we talked about their attack side, playing with the Waylay Yoru, and how much benefit that's going to bring to them. Now, coming into this one, 6-2 down and a chance for this to extend further. 14-1. Where do you see from this point the goalposts for DRG being? Where do they have to hit to give them a chance in half number 2?
It's difficult. We do now head into our DRG tactical timeout. As said, that was coming. The producers did not lie to me. They only do that to fans. But nonetheless, back to your point, I think that I kind of want to see them try and level this up because sure, a 10-2 defense last time out, but versus BLG the time before, 8-4 attack, versus XOG 10-2 attack. They've proven that they're good on both sides of the map. But I just think it's going to be more difficult when your Cypher is a stand-in. Like, a lot of the time, that if you look at the way Cypher is played on this map, it is an anchor hold of the B site quite regularly, a lot of information to be found around middle and in towards B main. Well, even if just the communication is a little bit off, that means Demon 1 has to kill a whole team as they run into the site. I don't believe that he's going to be able to do that. He needs to have those supportive bits of utility to help him. So I think, if anything, the ease should be more so on that attack side, especially when you got this double duelist. Like, you need on the defense to have that push on one side and him as the hold on the other. On the attack, you can be a little bit more loose. But thus far, the loose style has meant that someone is getting caught in most rounds early because T1 aren't just sitting back and letting you have that control.
Well, this should be the easier, as you said, Tom, for DRG to put the pieces together with the stand-in. So far, they have yet to win a rifle round, and now is their chance to right that wrong. Ackerman back to winning ways in those early fights. Paranoia sent through, but that doesn't stop them as Demon 1 picks up another, and another stacks down, but DH in the corner. DH, he'll only get 2. Demon 1 saves them. Meteor left alone in a 1v3. That could have been a nail in the coffin of DRG. I don't know how that corner was left uncleared for so long. Especially when the paranoia was thrown through from that position. But they've righted the wrongs here, at least.
I guess it just literally came down to we've killed enough people, there could possibly be another one in the corner. And honestly, for DH, it's a nice try. Like, you look at that with so many players open and you go, maybe he should have got all of them, but he was able to at least take 2. The problem is the damage was already done, and thankfully for the rest of the players, Demon 1 was quick enough on the trigger to be able to take him down. That flash as well. Buzz was so unbelievably blind.
Spirit Z1. That got way too close in the cubby. You know, you can't put your head that low too from that position. It's far more than he should have been allowed to get. But just one more, and that's a completely different scenario we're looking at. DRG, 3 rounds on the board. Their first rifle round secured, but not without its bumps. Unfortunately, we are back to attack pause. A delay in the momentum. Although, to be fair, think a lot of these players will be happy to take a breather.
Maybe not so soon after the last one. Definitely a stop-start. I don't think it's alarm bells just yet for the side of T1. I think that last round was very much just an all-out brawl, similarly to what we were seeing on Lotus on that A side of the map, just everybody diving in with their utility. And it has felt like a very 50-50 fight, whether or not Buzz is going to be able to just dominate, or in this case, where Ackerman has the supportive utility needed. A question will be if DRG can build off of this, because yeah, if everybody fights in one spot on the map and you come out on top, it's not like a round where I'm going, you're going to be able to do this every single time. Like if the paranoia lands a bit earlier, maybe Buzz gets a few. If the flash isn't as good as it was, maybe he doesn't go down. Like these are rounds that are still difficult to repeat, but definitely good to see that they've at least managed to get themselves one that isn't just stingers running at people.
Yeah, absolutely. But even then, it requires Demon 1 to pick up 3 very important kills. The first 2 trades on the initial fights. The third one, picking up a ball that was dropped far too quickly. And without a moment of thought for DRG. You can see there were blips. And as I said, the surprising thing to me was that TH was the one to throw that paranoia so early on. He was stood in the same spot as he was when they came to push.
Well, it seems like this one is going to be a little bit longer, as we will be swapping out a PC, but luckily we're not going to leave you bored. Before the tournament, we had, of course, to get that script meeting ready and going, so let's see how that went.
Bye guys. Bye Valorant.
I already told you, I'm not buying your bundle.
It's Pacific. They changed the script. Let's do another round of revisions to make sure it's fully actionable or not.
If they have our region come in second again.
What is this? I thought we had buy-in from all for an EMEA final.
Actually, guys, I had insane idea. Map 5 overtime, 15-14. I am 1v3 down. And, like, it's really low time. I'm killing 2 and then going to spike, and then boom, take pass.
Boring. A grand final without the Americas? That's crazy. You know we bring the viewership, right?
Can we stay on track, please?
There will be no tech pause. Ignore him.
So we're gonna do the...
So,
I invited him. He needs to tell his region. EMEA is not going second against the Pacific team again.
You can lose the grand final against us instead.
Hello everyone.
Hey guys.
What's up? Hello.
Hello.
Wait, I thought we are finalizing this one in Paris.
Spike planted.
That's boring. We've done this already in Toronto. There is nothing like a good redemption arc. EMEA deserves this.
Hey. There are more changes to the script again. But you already know my thoughts on this. Let's touch base once we are in Paris.
Hello, 大家好，抱歉我来晚了。Did we discuss which teams to get kicked out, all of the Americas teams this time?
We should commit team
He's asking if
I wish it
can
would
change
Oh,
the
hate
script
Cuba.
meeting.
Who doesn't hate Cuba?
Yeah, keep dreaming, guys.
肯定是我们啊，我以为到了8点我们才会决定。
Okay. So let's just undo all of the changes Pacific made and start over. Once you're in Paris, it will be great. Like really great. Just trust me. I think we will work out a storyline that everyone can get behind.
Alright, everything sounds good for me. Thanks for following up.
Yeah, okay, gotta go.
Alright, cheers to the meeting, guys.
A bientôt.
Out of charge. Launching smoke.
Et que serait l'EMEA sans une petite pause technique? On est à la maison et on en profite pour avoir deux fans français de T1 à mes côtés, William et Antoine. C'est un plaisir de vous avoir ici. I'm very glad to welcome two French T1 fans with me, William and Antoine. And the first question I wanted to ask you boys is, how does it feel, you know, having champs at home and seeing your favorite team here in Paris? Du coup, qu'est-ce que ça fait d'avoir les champions à la maison, de pouvoir voir votre équipe ici aux arènes?
Alors en tant que fan de Valorant et même jouer au jeu, c'est un événement incroyable et je ne pouvais pas ne pas y aller, c'était impossible pour moi.
J'imagine, et pour toi?
Ouais, c'est pareil. Bah franchement, regardez enfin, sur Twitch, les matchs c'est quelque chose, mais les vents physiques c'est vraiment incroyable. Le son des tirs, des smokes, de tout en fait, sur place c'est 10 fois mieux. 100 fois même. 100 fois mieux.
100 fois même, 100 times is better here than at home. You know, having the mood, the fans, you can hear the gunshots so much louder and it feels insane to have it in our own country, of course. And the second question I wanted to ask you about T1 is, who is your main character in that team? Who is going to carry, you know, the whole team? Donc c'est qui, pour toi, le personnage principal chez T1? Oh, Buzz! On est équipé, effectivement. So Buzz, obviously. Buzz. Et pour toi, du coup, Antoine, c'est qui ton joueur préféré?
Mon joueur préféré, c'est Météor. Même s'il chope pas beaucoup de kills, il chope vraiment beaucoup d'impact kill. Et vraiment, c'est un joueur qui est vraiment très fort.
So Buzz on one side, Meteor on the other one, and even though he's not top fragging, he has an insane impact, and I agree with you on that, definitely. Merci beaucoup à tous les deux. On va voir si T1 arrive à gagner. Thank you very much, both of you and everyone, and we're gonna see if T1 manage to get the win on Sunset.
Well, it's time to find out if DRG can bounce back from 6-3 down. And what has been a shaky start to this map. Make it all the way to Ascent, buy us a third map, and maybe even take their first series alongside their first map win. But to do that, they've got to defeat that team on the other side who, as you can hear in the crowd, they've certainly got some fans out here. Buzz and Meteor, the Buzz chant. I like hearing that. Yeah. But I think it's a great point as well about Meteor that we heard from one of the fans that he might not be top fragging, but his impact is tangible. There's a reason the man's been voted an MVP before, and he certainly set out to try the two-time here at Champions. A long road ahead of him, though.
Although when he was MVP, I think he was top fragging a lot.
Like, a lot of people vote based on the scoreboard, Tom.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
We are all scoreboard warriors at heart. Just don't use rating. Nonetheless,
please. Gotta use cast.
We can already see launch him back into the game. Hopefully, unlike in our EMEA show match, he has already got the bind done for how to defuse the spike.
Oh, you're going to bring Samuel Etienne up here in Paris? That's a bold move, Tom.
It's all right. He's probably watching the French stream.
I hope so, for your sake.
They're in-house, you know. I'm sure he's chilling. But, yeah, I think obviously the extended break, not ideal for any of the players down on the stage, but for DRG, maybe a little bit of a momentum breaker, not only them winning the last round, but also just the way that the map was going, if you just joined us, was very much they were only able to win a couple with Stingers, and with the rifles they were really struggling. They did just manage to win their first. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much Gecko.
No, I was going to say, yeah, the Gecko fans have been starved for attention so far. Maybe that'll change as the tournament goes on.
It's actually just Gecko's looking for his wingman at the moment. Can't go him with one of the abilities.
That's true.
He's been heavily nerfed.
But yeah, as we get back into things fairly soon, obviously, as you guys know at home, there was a PC swap needed down there. Always takes a little bit of time, but last time coming out of one of these tech pauses, we had a tactical pause. And what I like about this little break is that although we might not be touching base with the coaching staff, your IGLs have had quite a long time to think about things. And I think that will benefit more towards DRG, who have had those struggles. They just found their first buy round. They've yet to streak two together because, again, they've been doing the really tough work of winning those rounds with Stingers and then losing when they've got rifles in hand.
You're firing shots at Stacks?
No, I'm saying DRG are the ones that will need to build around this little break the most because they've had the issues. T1 are 6-3 up.
One of our
they just lost their round. Stacks, you know? Negative.
One of the most iconic players we've had. I can't believe you take shots at Stacks.
Absolutely outrageous. Not. I gave him a fist bump backstage. I was very gentle as well. I didn't want to hurt the wrist. You know me, the muscles.
Oh yeah. You're almost as strong as Flexen. We just can't quite see it.
The clothes, they're too thick.
I'm seeing headphones going back on. I know, honestly, this whole game, like, I think we came into things with a team coming in with a stand-in, that stand-in being Demon 1, switching over to the Chinese region to try and make this work, and he has been impressive. He's had a lot of high-impact rounds, he's had a lot of moments where I think that you can see that the individual level is definitely still there, especially slotting into a role that isn't necessarily one that's his own, especially known for his more duelist/chamber play, but he's definitely looked comfortable within this squad, and obviously we're kind of having an eye on the double duelists of Ackerman and Spirit Z1 to see, especially on these last few attack rounds, what they can bring into play. The problem, though, for T1, when we do get back into the game, is that economically, they're going to be in a little bit more trouble with what they can try and deal with, as they did lose that last round and haven't really been able to keep a lot of these rounds clean.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big problems. You know, looking back at the previous map, Spirit Z1 as well, I'm waiting to see his return to form in terms of those early duels. I'm going off memory, which I probably should. That's usually a risky game. You could feel it. Both himself and Ackerman finding so much space. So far, it feels like they've both been having a tough time. I think in a lot of these rounds, there's been well-placed utility. You think about the slide up that Ackerman went for in the round that they won. But he slid through, and there was an immediate flash from Izu, a swing from Buzz. And in terms of the utility that T1 are putting down, then you think back to Stacks on those haunts and how much impact they were having on Lotus. It has felt like they have a little bit of an advantage in that aspect.
It's going to be a little bit longer. Let's go back down with Lou to meet some of the DRG fans.
Et de retour pour vous jouer un mauvais tour, parce que la pause n'est pas encore finie. On espère que ça va venir très vite, effectivement. J'ai des qui m'ont rejoint des DRG, and I'm now pleased to welcome two DRG French fans to here in the arena, Fida and Sasso. And my first question is going to be very easy. We're in France, but you're supporting two Chinese teams. So how come is that? Have you followed, you know, their scene and stuff? Donc pourquoi en France est-ce qu'on soutient des équipes qui viennent de si loin? Est-ce que vous avez suivi un petit peu la scène chinoise, pardon?
Parce que je la regarde depuis presque plus d'un an et c'est vraiment incroyable. Il y a vraiment très peu de monde qui la regarde. Quelqu'un qui l'a dit l'année dernière. Vraiment, mettez-vous sur la chaîne. C'est vraiment le plan à suivre. Donc moi je conseille à tout le monde de regarder la chaîne CN sur la chaîne de Kichi.
Un petit shout-out à Kitty qui est en train de caster le match d'ailleurs. So why are you following the Chinese team? I've been following them since the very beginning. There's only a few streamers who are following them. Indeed, Kitty, for instance, who's currently catching the match in the arena. So yeah, as Kang Said, watch us more. Et pour toi?
Moi en fait ça fait 3 ans presque que je follow la ligue chinoise. Notamment pour BLG qui joue demain
yeah, I've been following them for 3 years as well, and I'm also rooting for BLG, who are going to be playing tomorrow also. So yeah, we should definitely watch a bit more of VCT China. And last but not least, who's your main character? Who's going to manage to shut down T1? Qui est le meilleur joueur chez DRG? Qui est-ce que tu as envie de réussir à voir carry?
Bah moi un peu triste hein, mais c'est Vokashu. Faut vraiment nous rendre Vokashu, je suis vraiment déçu. Après je vais pas cracher sur Diamond One, j'aime vraiment beaucoup, mais j'aurais vraiment aimé avoir Vokashu.
Yeah, so for me it's Vokashu. I wish he was there and we really want to have him here, but of course I'm very happy to see Demon One stepping in. Et pour toi Fida?
Pour moi c'est un ancien joueur de BLG bien sûr, c'est Fleshin qui jouait chez eux l'année dernière et maintenant il est ici donc je suis obligé de le supporter.
So former BLG player for me, Flexin of course, and now I'm supporting him in DRG, and let's see who's going to be able to carry this match between T1 and DRG on the Chinese or on the Korean side. See ya.
10 seconds left.
Hello, everyone. I thought we would hop on for a bit because someone might have missed us. I missed yapping with you two for a bit. So how are we doing?
It's not like we don't yap in the green room the whole time.
I
We're
don't
not
really
yapping
talk to
on
you,
camera.
so-
That's true.
Yeah,
you don't
I
speak very much at all.
traditionally not a yapper. Yeah, very
Right.
quiet.
Everyone believes that.
Keeps my opinion to myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm 6'7".
Wait, why you just dropped like a Lee Zoomer meme on me? I don't even
Keep
know.
going.
I love that. I thought it would be fun during a tech pause to play some games, but for now, just to give you guys an update, we have swapped out a PC. We're still encountering some client issues, but as soon as that is fixed, I will let you guys know. Have you ever played a game called Never Have I Ever? Have you played this before? This is like
I have actually.
This is like a staple of my university college, university. So the aim of the game is you're trying to say something that you have never done, but the other two people have to try and catch them off guard. Does that make sense?
Run that by me one more time.
So we're just gonna play a practice round. You guys at home play along. So the aim of the game is you want to say something that you have never done, but the people next to you have.
Isn't it the other way around?
No.
That you've done that they haven't done.
No, that's why it's called Never Have I Ever. It's not called.
I don't know if I understand that, but let's run it.
So for example, never have I ever played Jet in a game of Ranked. Oh, damn it! Okay.
Wait, really?
So it works? Yeah. So I half failed there. I only got one. I only got done. I didn't get you. I didn't catch you.
I think I got. I think I'm going.
I have actually never played Jet in Ranked.
I find that really hard to believe. Genuinely.
I always feel, and also, it's not for me. Yeah.
All right, can I do one real quick?
Go for it. Your turn.
Never have I ever had a cheeky Nando's.
Oh. Wait, this week?
Ever? Wait, you too?
Oh, okay. We're all failing this game. I have had a cheeky Nandinos, and
Wait, is that different than a Nando's?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't even know.
What are we talking about?
I go for hot livers with peri peri fries.
Chicken.
Yeah, it's my
Not
fave.
chicken. Cheeky Nando's.
Elite.
Oh my
order.
bad.
While I'm there, do you know who has the most disgusting meals ever, unacceptable, eating habits? Sliggy, because he likes to eat microwave chicken and rice. Sliggy, because he likes to eat microwave chicken and rice, and he eats that every day.
Oh, Sliggy, that's quite.
That is outrageous.
No, I get it.
Get it.
And
I
honestly,
get it.
Dan,
I get it.
Dan, if you get it, don't admit it.
I get it.
This is not a good
What do
thing.
you
ඉෂේ එකක් වෙලා තියෙන බා.
I feel like if I
ලොකු ටැක්ටිකල් පෝස් එකක් ගන්න තමයි. දඩ සීන් එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. නෑ අර graphic driver වල issue කරලා තියෙනවා.
Insult to my culture, by the way. But yeah, your turn for a never have ever. Go on.
Game plan හදන්න බෑ.
Okay, I reckon I have another one. Okay, let me see. Oh, go on. Oh, I thought you had one.
Yeah, you okayed with a little.
Yeah, you came
So I thought,
I'm sorry.
Oh, never have I ever rooted for an America's team.
Spike down A.
I mean,
No, that's a lie.
That's not fair.
That's a lie. There's no way you have never ever in the 5 years of Valorant hoped that an American team would win something.
No,
A
I
match.
feel like you have. No, I feel like
That's a load of malarkey.
I mean, if we really thought about this, actually maybe Crew. I think maybe I kind of rooted for Crew cheekily back in the days.
Vamos.
I was really rooting for Crew.
Until they beat Fnatic.
It was actually because they beat Fnatic. Yeah, I was hella rooting for them.
Let's go. Were they? Yeah, I don't know
2021.
that they count.
But I mean, if you think about it, historically, we had Gambit versus Envy. Embarrassing performance, quite honestly, from Envy in that final.
Right,
like
relax.
3-0 from Gambit.
Relax.
Was I realistically not going to root for Gambit?
Oh,
and then after that, we had FPX coming through. We had Fnatic coming through. So
Oh, Philip මොකද්ද Spider-Man ගහනවානේ.
Narratives.
But I feel like you also like
Fnatic. Yeah, I think actually
2022.
just not the energy. Like I like Lev, I like Loud, I like Crew.
මම ඩයිලයිට් ගහන්නේ ආයි.
Even Vivo Gene, any knowers?
Yeah.
NIP, I got you, baby.
Okay, I got it, and I am confident I will win this.
Okay.
I am confident I will win this. Never have I ever intentionally pulled up to listen to a Taylor Swift
No more dying
Oh
light.
my god. That's why
Wait,
you
what do you mean,
self-snitching.
intentionally?
Why are you smiling
I'm
when
so
you're saying
confused.
that?
Have you listened to Taylor Swift on purpose?
Yes. Who
Surely
hasn't?
you have.
Wow.
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're gonna come for me.
Honestly, Doug, like, I'm so happy that you're not like the other girls. Like, wow.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Pick me, final boss over there.
I just dropped a what?
That was great.
You
that
let
was
that
really
one go.
Great.
I learned that from you. To be
අපි දැන් මේක බලන් ඉන්න ඕනේ මෙයාලා
There's actually a lot of Swifties in this tournament. I want to shout them out. Patman on Paper X was very excited about the prospect of Taylor Swift dropping an album while he is in Paris. We have Chichu's game, like in-game name.
How do you find this lore? I'm so curious.
Dan, I have to stalk people for a living, you know.
Okay, great.
So Chichu's name before Chichu was Swift13, which is Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. So Chichu is a go-to Swiftie.
Okay.
We have Neil, Zenio, and Weber. Famously Swifties, and the list is so long, it's going to take me a while. But good news is the tech pause is over. You don't have to
tech
listen
pause
to
is
us anymore.
over.
Now you have to listen to more of Mitch and Tom.
You have to.
Thank you very much, Sue. It's time to get back into the game. It's been a cruel summer down here with these tech pauses, but it looks like we'll be back into the game pretty soon. 6-3 is where we left you, and we just saw DRG win their first rifle round. If you're just tuning in now, you have missed chaos in terms of the ecos. With stingers in hand, DRG look like one of the strongest teams. With rifles, not so much. We'll see if there's going to be a change.
Over,
Finally,
boys and
we
girls.
see the countdown moving towards zero. Now, Tom?
Until it hits zero.
Not right now.
I'm not in until it hits
zero.
zero.
Barriers are going to go up. Players are logged back in. PC swap successful. Client issues subsided. But T1, they have issues of their own. Economy's in the bin. And a weak buy coming through after that loss in the previous round. This should be DRG's first back-to-back round win.
Oh, wow. You said like a million jinxes back-to-back. There's all the tech pause stuff, and then you've hit us with the they should win their round.
I'm feeling good today, Tom.
Buzz has a stinger. It's been the best gun in this match so far. And after early control over A, they've immediately rotated to mid, expecting there to be some pressure put through on that side. The drone should, yep, that's going to get a little bit of extra information. Now they're going to try and pincer in on them. It's a little bit dangerous, but I like the use of the dimensional drift. Will allow the escape and also give Nick a good opportunity to try and clear them up. The Stinger still going strong.
Yeah, the damage is certainly being done, but T1
Spike planted.
not going to deny the plant. Going to lose another player into the trades in the meantime. And DRG,
Buzz has a rifle.
versus 2. Buzz has got a rifle, and last time he was in a position where he was the one we looked at, it was a 3K in A main. He dominated and gave T1 a real chance. I think that's why they converted. But now, smoked out, time ticking. No paranoia to work with. No stun. Not even a slide. Nothing to help out on this. This has got to be raw aim power. They're not looking the right way here. That's a free kill. Flexen gets caught off guard, diving in. Buzz gets one, and now it's a 1v1 with Ackerman. But just about, DRG will connect the win. 2 in a row, found at last, and both with rifles.
Yeah, it gets incredibly close towards the end. I like that Ackerman is just so quick to make sure that trade goes through, knowing that his opponent's in a little bit of trouble. After being stunned up, but it does mean that everything is incredibly close in the end. And if DRG can continue this climb back, I don't think they're going to mind too much. This is, however, where we do get those guns coming back online. So, Mitch, I'm going to hand this one over to you. I think you had about 17 jinxes. What do you have to say for yourself?
Honestly,
it's
just my bad. Yep, I was feeling good. I got a little too confident for a moment there, but I'm starting to regret that now. 6-4 nonetheless. I'll tell you what, DRG looking good. They've connected them back-to-back, and as I said earlier, you know, they made the best of that downtime. They corrected course.
But to be fair, they have a pretty good record after technical pauses of winning rounds, so...
Here, at least, today. I'm not sure you have the stat regionally, but...
I don't think anybody has those stats regionally.
Didn't come prepared, huh, Tom?
Maybe within EMEA a while ago, you could say that was almost every round. So anybody who won the game just was good at winning after technical pauses, but...
KC, some of the best.
We improved. We improved.
We did, bit by bit.
We definitely
I actually
improved.
was the one that fixed it all. It was all me. But yeah, for T1, still stuck on 6, now conceding 2 in a row, and a big lead of 6-2. Starting to look like we could be even Steven at the halftime. One thing I've noticed in the break, actually, I'm not talking about the tech balls, I mean in between maps. We had Demon 1, like, I was looking down at the stage a lot, and the guy was locked in, not on his monitor, he had his head down. He was like calming the nerves, thinking about that previous map where, as we said, he had a phenomenal showing, you know? But I think he's disappointed not to have closed out that map.
Just a keyboard,
locked in. We already saw him save the day really for DRG in what, round 9, the first of these two. They just had pretty manages to find a 3K in opening trades, not opening duels, but his teammates go down every step of the way. He's the one bringing it back.
Keyboard make a number pad.
It's a very important thing to see him with confidence, especially in this role, especially after it's been almost 5 months since we've seen him on a stage, let alone the international.
The fun thing about this matchup is that if they win this, I think most people going off the next match would have G2 winning. And so then he'd get to play against Jorgamo to make it through the groups. Like, it would be one hell of a storyline if they're able to turn this around. It's not looking fantastic. Last couple of rounds have definitely given us some hope, although they've been so far and few between. You can't say that there's been any sort of momentum really building.
Well, also look how close that one was from T1's perspective. They came in with next to nothing. A couple of blows dealt out by DRG, and yet they kept going back and forth to a 1 versus 1 in the end. And it was Ackerman who had to pull them out of it. So in a round where DRG, like, we come in going, oh, well, they should be winning this. This should be their victory. It very nearly wasn't. And for T1, that's fantastic. They're making the rounds that should be dominant for their opponent competitive. And now that they'll have rifles coming back in, now that we could see that op on Izu again, depending on how they distribute their economy, this could very much be where they hammer it home and lock in an 8-4 lead for the halftime.
But that will be the other issue for T1. If this goes back to 6-6, I think they'll feel gutted because it will be 2 rounds of SMGs and then sort of like a lot of close rounds that could have easily gone their way to a very, very dominant half on their own map choice. And instead, they'll now be going into what should, in theory, at least based on the most recent result, be the better half.
Hari got the round
that's just brutal, isn't it?
That's actually
fine. Okay. Is he saying no as in he's better? Let's see who's coming up as Radiant.
I can't believe they just smacked the silver on someone. I mean, that's
first
rude.
one as well.
Yeah, look, there's Ascendant. Lower.
Ah. Oh no, you say higher. Lie, no one will ever know.
But technically, if that's what we're doing, up or down, the silver guy said low. Is he bronze? That's tough. I think he's accidentally violated himself. These things happen. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's ready! He's ready!
I hope it comes up silver now.
That's actually fire. He's sat in the crowd with his ranked rating.
Can we get this on Doug? I want to know what rank Doug is.
I want to know Sushi. She's never played a Jet.
Radiant, obviously game. Radiant.
That's a
not boosted Radiant.
Not boosted, absolutely. She hasn't been playing.
Who could even boost it, honestly?
Oh, jeez.
No, as in like, who would do that?
I don't think he could boost Sue because she deserves the top rank.
Yeah.
I've seen her play.
Lurking on Killjoy with an Odin.
Nothing wrong with that, Tom.
Yes,
there's
many things wrong with that.
6-4 is the score, and it looks like we're ready to dive back on into the game. Sunset, 2 rounds left to play for in this half. T1 leading by 2, but they've just conceded 2 in a row. As DRG start to put rifle rounds on the board, this is where the first roadblock will be hit. T1 have full rifles. They've got the operator out on Izu as well. A turning point perhaps for the defense, who still have a chance to finish this half with the lead that they had just moments ago. A convincing 8-4 on the cards. The DRG are coming in with momentum.
Face your fear.
Immediate usage of that Nightfall, an attempted TP, and it has failed miserably. Meteor swinging out of mid is already looking to put this one to bed. Back on the rifles and back to winning ways for T1. Well, that tech pause win rate has just gone down drastically for the side of DRG. They've just been slammed.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough pill to swallow over on the DRG side. Again, they connect those 2 rifle rounds in a row, one against an eco, but the second resistance is shown. Flex and caught in the TP. They turned around just in time. And it might seem silly, but you have to think the Fatal was put through. The Nightfall was there, so that player couldn't hear him, but the Spidey senses tingled just in time as the pressure was being put on elsewhere. And then they rush in to try to convert on that distraction. But Meteor ends up disrupting it from that mid push. 1 round left to play for in the half. T1 already guaranteed a lead, but by how much? Look how aggressive Buzz is being. He has pushed them out of mid. I mean, DRG are locked into an A push, like it or not, and that's where the Hunter's Fury is tracking them down.
Demon 1 only on a pistol, the rest of the team making their way into elbow, but this early push has definitely put some doubt in their mind. The rest of T1 seemingly quite happy to almost play this retake style setup, as now the attack look to make their move.
Found my wire. Meteor, he's been a menace through the smokes, but that reveal, it's caught him off. Well played by Nick. The advantage now found and converted into a 2 by Nick. The flash they thought would be the difference maker, but DH gets caught out alone as well. Crumbling under the pressure applied by Nick. We're left into a 1v3 for Buzz. They know where he is, and they're lined up with a firing squad. 7-5 locked in at the halftime, but T1 maintained the lead.
Yeah, no, a very good recovery from DRG. It was a spot where from 6-2 up, they definitely seemed like they were going to struggle. Nonetheless, we'll be back after the break.
Oh, ready? T1 लगाने देना तेल.
अब मैच के बटन करते हैं.
Oh. टेक फोर्स ඔහොම ඔච්චර යන්නේ නැහැ බයි.
යනවා එහෙම හැම ටූර්නමන්ට් එකේම නෙමෙයි වක්කනුත් යනවා.
අර මතකද චැම්පියන් එකේ ගියා මේ හෙඩ්ෆෝන් එක යන්නේ තු. උඹට මතකද එක ගියකෝ කීබෝඩ් එක ෆන්ක්ෂන් වෙන්නේ නැතුව අර ඩිෆියුස් කර ඉන්නකොට එකපාරටම කීබෝඩ් එක ඩිස්කනෙක්ට් වෙනවා බා. ස්පයික් එක ඩිෆියුස් කර ඉන්නකොට
මොකද කරන්නේ?
ඉතින් මේ මොනවත් කරේ නැහැ. ඉතින් රවුන්ඩ් එක මේ අටැකර්ස් ලවින් ඊට පස්සේ ඕටි ගියා බා. ඔව් ඒ වුණාට මේ අරුන්ම තමයි වින් කරේ.
Welcome back, folks. Halftime concluded, and it's time for your Coinbase Econ report. Now, this was a bit of a crazy map so far. I know for me, but yep, there we go. Buzz was definitely the standout. Give him a rifle in an eco, and the man gave you a round win.
Yep. No, he had a stellar half. I think especially now, going into the attack side, it already seemed like he was a pretty big focal point of their defense. But I only assume that's going to be even more so going into this second half. The setup from the likes of DH and Stacks has been stellar. Giving that little bit of additional space to sort of get in behind. And he's always going to cause you issues. On the other side of things, a late show up from Nick also helped out massively the final round, bringing things back into contention. And well, I said it before, the last time that DRG played this map, they had a very dominant defense. We'll see if that can be recreated.
ඒක විනබල් තිබ්බේ බං.
T1 already claiming Lotus. But this is T1's pick, one they came in prepared to play. There's no doubt. Aggression early on towards mid. 4 players up close, and it's Spirit C1, a man who had plenty of opening duels go his way. And although he finds DH, the trade is immediate. And the space, well, they're taking it right towards Ackerman. Good stun, but a player further back, unstunned is Buzz. And he will be unwavering as they move towards this site. Flexen caught down to 20 and completely boxed in. Nowhere to go. And he's wrapped on, but he at least finds one.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. It looked like he was going to get nothing for his troubles. Even still, though, Stax is going to spot out the first. I don't know if they've necessarily seen Nick just yet. Meteor is going for the fight, a little bit individualistic. The swing back wasn't bad, but Demon One's done well. Unaware of where Buzz currently is trying to figure out every single angle. Instead, he's being swung on, and it's Buzz once again. He is having one hell of a game, closing out the pistol as he started it. 3 in the round, and a 3-round lead now for T1.
Yeah, that pistol's just going to send them further into the lead, make this a much more difficult battle for DRG. And here's an interesting question, because they've been extremely good when it comes to the weak buys, when it comes to the stingers. At this point, it's a risk, but you could see them go in for a stinger buy. Looks like they've decided against it, though.
On defense, it's so much more of a gamble. Like on attack, you can run it down. You can maybe find 1 or 2 players on their own. On defense, you have to basically pray you run into the stack of players, which may have happened. And at least for now, they have got their stack in the right place at the right time. They don't have the weaponry to back it up, but I feel like this is very all in for the side of T1, but they are doing well to pick apart these pistols. There was definitely danger in this round, but, oh, Buzz, he's happy to run into danger head first.
And they're even clearing the backside. Now Demon One had a chance to fly under the radar there. You'd think that, okay, they 4-stacked A and then left one guy to play info around mid, around B, deep camera, so they can rotate early, but no, he was there as well, and T1 won't be caught off guard by that sneaky little play. 9-5 now on the board. A big lead. We have seen the gap close in, but it took everything DRG had to offer. And again, it's been a while since we touched on it. The stakes for this team, they have to outlive XLG in this tournament, or Ascension will be calling them.
Cutting through.
Both teams having a very tough lower bracket, regardless of how results go. Hello. He's playing like his life's on the line, and Spirit C1's there to back him up. It's a clean round from DRG. The bounce back might continue, or might start here with a flawless.
Yeah, what a response. All right, we've hyped up Buzz all the way through. He still sits atop the pile, but it's the same sort of stuff we saw from him in the first half. Ackerman just taking over that control, fighting tooth and nail with a teammate alongside him and just landing every single shot. Superb round from him. Puts them back on the board in clean fashion. But they're going to need a few more of those, still 3 behind.
It's one of those things as well, just the impact of Flexen's paranoia straight down through that laneway. It's so difficult to play against. This time it comes in at a bit of an angle, and it doesn't catch the first player through. Buzz able to follow up as a result. DH and Stacks with their own kills in the A site. It's fallen just like that. DRG trying to repeat the success of the previous round, but they're not quite as all in about it. Trying to push around through elbow. The paranoia out of position, and ultimately the wall from Buzz is what stops that from being a bit more risky. Because yes, he could see, but the rest of his squad was blinded up. But no one could follow up on that from the defensive side as they were locked out. And once Buzz came swinging through, it was done.
This is the problem with those sort of A-side aggressive plays. Is like, it really does feel like a coin flip. Like, whoever hits their utility at the right place at the right time, whoever lands that first shot can create a domino effect. Think about it. Last round was a flawless in the favor of DRG. This, well, it's not flawless because 2 players are probably going to survive, but it's flawless for the attack who are not losing a player. It's just not a sustainable way to play the game. And because of that, T1 immediately bounced back. And sure, there's enough credits for DRG to buy into the next round, but they need to find something that will consistently work.
And they're running out of time as well. Yeah, they've got the credits here, but it's going to fade very quickly.
Good, man.
They slide through. He was even stunned up, doesn't matter. And blinded on the other. I mean, those are fights for the most part that you're at a major disadvantage. There's your Meteor fan in the crowd. Happy to T1 push up to double digits, 4 rounds ahead. Rifles for DRG, but this It's one of their last opportunities to fight for this map, to fight for this series. And it will be Buzz and Izu and DH falling at the hands of Spirit
Nice.
A coin flip that lands in their favor this time.
This is such a ridiculous way to play the game. Literally, our entire map is being decided in one corner. A main. That's where everybody lives or everybody dies. And we have now just flip a coin. Let's just get everybody on stage and we'll just flip a coin each round, and whoever gets it on heads is going to be the winner. It is absurd. I love the fact as well that we have spoken about Demon 1 being in this squad. He's the B player. Like, he's just been, for this whole game, he's like, are you winning, son? No? Okay, I'll save. Yes, awesome. Great job, guys.
Well, one of the things you said was like, oh, when they come to push B, his communication's going to be key.
Yeah, they
just hasn't mattered at all. They haven't come towards his side. But this time, it's different. T1 don't decide to just throw themselves into the blender on A.
They've just walked up A with the spike.
They have. The idea here is to fake it out and look at how it's worked. DRG rotate. They push mid with 3 early, come through market to reinforce the B side, thinking that's where the hit's coming in. But now, those players stepping back in the other direction and seeing no contest around A main. T1 should be sensing that this side is much lighter defended. And in fact, it is only flexing.
Well, DRG are now pushing up. This is where they now have the information. They've cleared out B, but I think it's going to be too little too late. A TP at least from Spirit Z1. And now he's going to be able to find them that information. He now knows that this is another A hit, but it's not a stack up of players anymore. Rotation is coming in, but they can't take this risk. It's just not worth it. It's down to the spams, but nice work from Flexen. That stack's gone.
Yeah, Flexen making a different name for himself when it comes to A main on Sunset. The spike will be retrieved. However, T1, they're not looking to the side, at least not with 2 of their players. Paranoia being lined up right now, but they don't find the picks and swinging deep. Nick unblinded, able to drop DH. It's picks across the board. Response from Meteor. This could be the MVP performance. In fact, it might need to be Buzz by his side. Another for Meteor. Buzz with 1, and it's Izu alone against Demon 1 in the clutch. 3 rounds between them around DRG need, but Izu won't give it. 11 on the board. T1 a step closer to dominating this series, as close as it's been.
This is one of the first sort of like close rounds we've seen in a while. And a lot of it came down to Meteor. This his target isolation was sublime. An opportunity for a trade, well aware of the angles that were left missing. And gave Izu a chance, maybe in a round that they never should have had one, because the way that kicked off looked so good for the side of DRG. Well, at least in the early stages, we're right back to regular programming. Izu's looked to fight towards that A site with a multitude of DRG players ready and waiting. The rest of T1, though, they're going a different way.
Flexen definitely having a better time when it comes to A main. Demon 1, though, under heavy pressure, finds 1, but he'll go down eventually. Thunder's Fury clearing out the backside, at least the closer corners. That's going to get the Paranoia out of DH with a deep swing. Spirit Z1 falls, but Ackerman's there so quick to trade this back. The advantage stays with the defensive side. The spike trapped on the site. There shouldn't be a way for him to get out of here. The drone feeling Ackerman as Meteor creeps his way ever closer. He's got this wrap around. It's really down to Flexen's timing, and he's not clearing the angle. He's not covering it. But eventually the trade comes through, leaving Stax alone against 2.
He's known for his ability to clutch, but they're grouping up, looking to play this together. A wonderful reposition from Flexen. Didn't want to give another isolated fight, so he joins his teammate and closes that distance once more. But it has been at 3 for a very long time. They've never been able to close that gap any further. And we now wait to see if they can finally start to string rounds together.
Well, it's very much now.
Hi, Minidu.
Look at this from Flexen to open up the round. Cross that gap. Quick trade through the smoke, but really the round A main was not a place that he had very many favorable fights in the previous map, but going into this, it seems like he owns it. They'll need to keep ownership over that. Spike towards B this time. And the early
බලපන්
pressure
මිනිබු
on
මැච් එකට කලිනුත් ලයිව් එකට එනවා මගේ.
primed and ready, not used. Bucky in play for Ackerman, sensing that it's going to be a weaker buy, and then he can get aggressive with that without too much risk of delivering a big weapon to his opponents. I like that adjustment, especially with the ult in the back pocket. Demon 1 does well to stick around and find one, and look, they can even get a find too. Looking to get in behind, that's the one for free. Now needs to isolate this duel onto Demon 1. This is going to be important. He wins this, and the round is genuinely on. The paranoia, though, fantastic. It's going to force them away. Hot flashback, but again, the pressure is all on Meteor at the moment. The rest of the players still yet to claim any weapons. They're trying to give space for him. He's being spammed out already. Meteor, he somehow manages to find another, puts it down to a 1 versus 1.
Again 1 versus 1.
Into the clutch, running round. Just trying to get away from an opponent who's running in.
GG බා ආම හේතුවේ නම් right click එක වැදුනා ඔලුවටම කියලා බලන්න anyone
ඔලුවට තමයි වැදුනේ මලේ 4K. I mean, we talked about Buzz when it comes to having the rifle with the weakness.
කිරිකිරි බෝල කරායකෝ
But jeez, that is ridiculous. Did we need that slow mode?
හැබැයි සමහරලාට TP එක දාගත්තා නම් ගේමක් ගහගන්න තිබ්බේ. හිතාගන්න බැරුණා.
Their downfall isolating. Just one man, he fires back so strong. DRG able to close the gap to 2 now. The rifles back out on T1 and another
මෝ කියන්නේ මේ අරු බම් මේ ස්ට්‍රෙක්ස් ගැන කියන්නේ. ස්ටෙක්ස්
නම් පොඩි නෑ නෝ ඉතින්
ඔගේ ඔගේ ශරීරයෙන් පොඩි පොඩි
ශරීරෙත් පොඩි යන්නේ
with the shorty, and that's Nick already gone. A fantastic start, which will give them a lot of space. There is still another player here, but they're going to be revealed. Meteor's been getting so many kills. Neural theft is already back online.
He's just such a madman. But he needs to deliver more. Meteor and DH down. Here comes the ult out of Spirit Z1. A lot of information to work with. Good stun though from Buzz, and he converts the kill. Izu expecting that decoy, but Spirit Z1 delivering in every fight and caught with a flash in hand. Meteor, the 4K in the previous. Spirit Z1 connects the same. And it's double digits now for DRG, just one behind. And the economy of T1 starting to struggle.
I really like the way that T1 tried to play that. They see that Spirit Z1 is going into the ult, so they push back sight. They try and avoid him while he's giving information, take another fight. But the fact is, he was the danger in that round. He was the problem that they needed to get rid of. And individually was enough to take that one. We said about rounds being brought together in a row.
එහෙම එකක් නෑ බං ඌ ගහන විදිය
because from this point it's been a
හරි
ඌ කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන විදියට එක දෙන්න යනවා.
That gave them a pretty big advantage. If you win both pistols, win a third round bonus in the first half, and then still lose the map, I'll be honest, I start to understand Autumn's frustration from earlier in the game.
නැහැ
This is a tough round to do.
Tournament එක ගහන්න උගේ account එකෙන් බං.
We said the economy
නෑ නෑ උන්ගේ ස්කින් තියෙන account වලින්මයි උන් ගහන්නේ බං. ඔබ කියන්නේ උන්ගේ
ආපන් එහෙනම් එන්නේ උන් කොහොමද යුරෝප් වල වෙල ගහන්නේ පැරිස් වල උන්ට පින් එක වැඩි නේ.
නෑ නෑ උන්ගේ මේ region එක මාරු කරලා දෙනවා. ඒක නෑ නෑ e-sport වල check කරනවා බං.
මාරු කරන්න ඉතින් පුළුවන් region එක මාරු කරන්නේ නෑ උන්ට වෙන account එකක් ගහන්නේ.
නෑ නෑ ඒක බං ඒක ඒ කියන්නේ මුන් client server එකෙන් උන්ගේ region එක මාරු කරනවා බං. ඒ ටූර්නමන්ට් එකට විතර පිස්සුද ටූර්නමන්ට් ගහන්නේ උන්ගේ මේන් account එකේ
නෑ බං උන්ට account එක
මම ඔය හොලගෙන නෑ නෑ ඔක්කොම ස්කින්
කිය මෙහෙම ස්කින් නෙමෙයි මේ වැලන් පොඩු අර රෙඩි පොඩු දිනුම් ටික කැමතිව ගන්න ඕන එකක් ගන්න ඕන චැම්පියන්ස් එකක් තියෙනවා ඕන වඩියක් තියෙනවා චැම්පියන්ස් ගන්න ටික තියෙනවා ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා ඉතින් ඒකනේ කොර සමහර වෙලාවට අර Masters yeah, Dilla champions.
Start to come alive. It's another big round from Ackerman and a complete shutdown of that A-side push. 4 in a row now for DRG. They left it late, but have really started to build into this one. We've spoken about on either side. T1 and T1 Masters didn't make the second and now look to come back as champions. And DRG an Ascension team that need to do better than XLG in this tournament. Otherwise, they have to go from champions to Ascension just to stay within the league. They are fighting for that right now. At least on the other side, it's much more of that direct take again. But there's a couple of players to deal with.
Meteor being one of them. On his way through, DRG lose Demon 1, lose those traps, and all the information. On retake, they've still got a lot to work with. Nightfall, primarily, Nick throws that through, but a TP from DH, he is behind them now. Buying time, perhaps a thorn in their side, but Flexen quickly eliminates some stacks.
3v3. 1v3. GG.
Surrounded and dealt with. From a big lead in half one, 6-2 up. At the half time,
ඔයාලගේ කීයක් ඉන්නවද? අපේ තාම ගාන කන්ෆර්ම් නැහැ. මෙතන ඉන්න 3ක් 4ක් ඉන්නවා.
trail by one and need another overtime. This time on their pick.
Yeah, it's honestly been a surprise. The way that the rest of this map were going, I thought the T1 had this dead to right. 6-2 start, half going in their favor, second pistol to get the lead, but some real resilience being shown by DRG. They came in as the number 2 seed for China, but I think many had the expectation that once Demon 1 was added in as a substitute for Vukashu, one of their best players, that this was going to be a different story. Or maybe not just yet. Buzz, though, he still has other ideas. DH as well. Overtime, it's coming, Mitch. We're going to get into the second map in a row. Demon 1 can pull off a 1v5.
Got his moments inscribed.
5v1
bucks, you think about him standing on the stage, and hell, he might mount that on the table, I say. And he might mount it again if he wins this one. In fact, he'd be very much justified to do so.
අපිනේ 5v1 එකක් වුණ ගමන් එළමියා හොයන් ගිහලා මැරෙන්නේ පහක් විතර මැරෙනවා.
මෙච්චරලා 5v1 නැති ඒ තරම් කීක් කරනවා.
Break between the maps, just how deflated he was.
Losing
that first.
Having
the opportunity to close it out, but you can't put that on here. They are so patient too, and the swing from Buzz to close it. 12-12 with a flawless round. T1. They bought themselves an overtime and another chance to close this series 2-0.
It's actually crazy as well that after how many coin flip rounds we've had on the A side of the map, they still do this again. Like, this has been just the most it's not even like the B side isn't popular.
අපි දන්නේ නැහැ නේ මාත් දන්නේ මේ දැන් බා
ඒකේ මෙහිම අද නෙමෙයි දැන් දවස් දෙකක විතර ඉඳන් කී වාර විතර ඩීමන් මන් කියනවා මෙහිම අර ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකෙන් ඉතාලම
I'm almost perplexed that we're seeing DRG set up outside the B side. I didn't even know this half of the map existed.
අද දාලා තිබ්බා Valorant official එකේ
and a lot of it comes down to the fact that Buzz putting that wall through gives a perfect flash for Izu. Flashes the left side, Buzz is through the wall. It's a guaranteed kill if they're there, and they're almost always there because you want that early A main control. If you give it up, they have a launching point to actually exec on the site. For DRG, the site's set on B most certainly. They're locked in here.
And with how much space Izu already has, it is going to be the rotation back in the other direction. The thing is, though, the pings on the map suggest that maybe DRG expected this all along. They managed to get rid of Stacks from B main. The Prowler forced him off. That even pulled the rotation of Meteor further into position. And now they look to challenge for mid instead.
One player spotted on the left, but DH is standing patiently, paranoia in hand, waiting for that aggression to come through. Here goes the stun, the paranoia, the big swing.
Nice one.
Demon 1.
Nice one.
He was paranoid, and he managed to find the pick. Nick with another.
Nice.
DRG are not going to let this one slip without a serious fight. And Stacks can't match up to the numbers thrown at him. Izu alone. And he's done. Once he goes through this smoke, that's 13 for DRG. Another map point for this squad.
ඕක ගහ ගන්න ඩීමන් ඕක ගහ ගන්න. ඕක ගහගෙන ඉවර කරගන්න.
I like the call.
ඊළඟ මැච් එකට.
Like having that early B main control. Falling back. And then, as you said, it's just a couple of bullets tapped through.
ඩීමන් වලට චයිනීස් පුළුවන් ද දන්නේ
a
නැහැ.
little bit further back might have helped him out, but and it's just about
චයිනීස් පුළුවන් ද දෝ ගේම් එකේ වොයිස්
ගේම් එකේ සෙටින්ග්ස් තියෙන්නේ චයිනීස් නේද? මට ඒක නෝට් බා.
ඩීමන් වලට චයිනීස් පුළුවන්.
ඩීමනන්ගේ වෙනුව එක
Now for
Chinese.
T1.
මං
ඉතින් උගේ
හිතන්නේ
ගේම් එකේ උගේ ලයිව් බලලා
At least not
උගේ
early.
ගේම්
They're
එකේ
also
තියෙන
selling
Chinese
that
බා
same sort of
Chinese,
ruse in
මම
towards
හිතුවේ
the
කොරියන් අර එහෙම වෙන්නද කියලා.
and then the
කොරියන්
steps being
මාක්කර
thrown
ඒ
out, but
වගේ
it's
එකක් තමයි
mid-control for DRG
අර
instead.
කොරියන් වෙන්න දින
They're
ගෙනදී
making this look
අරුද්දාන් ගහන
like a
කොරියන්
fake, with
අස්සා
Buzz making noise early in B main, and then just
නෑ නෑ උන්ට ලැන්ග්වේජස් පුළුවන් ඇති ඉතින් බා.
completely freezing. Then the decoy goes up towards A. Players there making some noise. That gets the push.
Nice
ඒ
one.
වොයිස් ලයින් ලස්සනයි කියලා කියනවානේ.
Oh, it's traded. Meteor's done well, and he was ready for Ackerman as well.
Meteor.
4 versus 3. Now they group and push together. And guess where they push? Of course, it's A main. The pressure again put onto Flex, and he is completely isolated here.
And it's not even like this time. There's a He's put it on the left side.
Visa,
He's
visa.
just going to have to walk there.
Visa case.
Hence the doubt being put into their minds.
They've got Cypher ult.
And Meteor
මුට මේකට ඇවිල්ලා ගහනට ගේ
just
වෙනවා
going
ඉතින්
back to look for a corpse. That will give them all the information they could ever need, and this lets them know that for now the A site is completely open, although Flex is going to push right into it.
It's a great reposition, but the angle's going to be clear.
Ado.
Anyways, and Buzz lands the shot. Flash through from Spirit C1. Oh, but up close, DH can't get the better of him. A 2 versus 1. Demon One's been in so many tough
අයියෝ අයියෝ
places,
ඩීමන්
but
වලට
this
වදිනවා
one
බා.
winnable, but
Who's going to
he's
look?
ඕනේ
Who's going to look?
වැදු උන්නේ දැන්
looking into each
අයියෝ
other,
බා.
and he fires his shot. Demon One gives the game away. 13 to 13. Another overtime. A game that I think a lot of people would have expected to be a bit one-sided, and it's been anything but.
But the other thing as well is just, I feel like every time
ගන්න කෑස් ලෑව
it looks
තරිකර
like
chat
it's going to
එකේ
slip away,
Oh,
Meteor just pulls out a round down
ඉතින්
that
නැත්තම්
single
මම
way.
හිතන්නේ
Like the
team
first
එකට
map,
කැමති
I want to say it wasn't the
අම්බේ
Meteor
මුංග දන්නෙත්
that
නෑ
we
ඔක්කොම
expected to see.
මහත්ම
This map it has
DRG
been exactly
අර
that. Like,
don't
it's had
care.
so many high impact moments.
අඩෝ
Yeah.
ඒක නන්නේ.
That one, okay, that's about as free as it gets.
අඩෝ මුන්ට බෙන්ස් එකනුත් ස්පොන්සර්
Autumn is going to
T1 ලට ඉතින් T1 ලගේ මේන් ස්පොන්සර් එක කොබෙන්ස් එක.
They said it seems like he likes to use the timeouts in the half that they've been struggling on, and I like that.
අර ටෙන්ස්
Coming
උන්ගේ
in,
හෙඩ්
they
ක්වාටර්ස්
have
වලට
not
ගිහිලා
been able to
තිබ්බා අර
find too much when it comes to
ටෙන්ස්
these defensive rounds, at least so far in OT. So he's going to try and give his squad a plan. That did work for them to win 15-13 on the previous map.
කියන්නේ ගන්න එකෙන් ගහන්න බැරනොත් ගිලිනවා මම බෝ කියලා හින්නේ.
Talk as well. Pressure.
Bull
I imagine for a lot of these
45
players, never
Red Bull
been this high. An OT loss before. This could be them fighting
රෙඩ් බුල්
for a
එකේ බෙන්ස්
2-0
ස්පොන්සර් එකේ හොදට
in
බැරිලා.
favor of DRG, and instead they're fighting for survival.
ඉතින් T1 කියන්නේ
Just
පරණ
like the grand
e-sports
scheme of things
මේ
with XLG and the Ascension points.
කමියුනිටි එකක්
Valorant
තිබ්බා.
එකේ famous නැති වුණාට famous නැහැ.
යකෝ League of Legends හොඳ
League of Legends එක හොඳ දෙයක්
හොඳම ටීම් එක තියෙන T1 ලට.
It's the timeout.
Valorant
Timeout
performance නැති
subsides. The
වුණාට
barriers
වැලන්
soon to
පොස්ට්
go
එකක්
up.
මොකද ඒක උන්නේ යකෝ
While
කලින් පාර ටූර්නමන්ට් එක දින්නේ
thinking about A main aggression.
මොකද්ද?
මාස්ටර්ස් එක
මාස්ටර්ස් එක T1 ලා.
Surprised by that.
TRX ලා දෙවෙනි එක දින්න මාස්ටර්ස්
The fight
පළවෙනි එක දින්න අරු
that has been going throughout the entirety of this one.
ඒ කියන්නේ XLG ලා
Spam's doing quite a lot of damage
යකෝ
on the
League of Legends dominators ලබන් T1 කියන්නේ.
mid, but it seems like his opponent is well away. He's managed to get through though. That's something that
ඉස්සුණා
T1
ඉස්සුණා
desperately
තමයි
have to
ඉතින්.
deal with. They're going to go hunting Buzz. It's being sent to try and get
ගැහුවා
rid of this
ගැහුවා
map. In the
ගැහුවා.
meantime, they are fighting.
අයියෝ.
They let Meteor to try and defend. He does well until dropped, but it's Buzz instead.
3v2.
A further advantage garnered. Although with him low, and he's on an operator, there's still a good chance here for DRG.
It's the Izu off. They already have the man advantage for T1, but now they can sit and hold an angle. Any peek in that direction is almost an immediate loss.
13 15 කතන්දර ඉවරද?
But now swaps over to the rifle as push comes to shove, and it's time to get aggressive.
අඩෝ ලං කරා බං.
DRG are waiting for this though. They're looking for the fight.
ආඩෝ පාඩුයි බං ඒක.
Bringing the heat.
ප්ලාන්ට් එක දාගන්න තිබ්බනේ බං.
13 after the timeout, T1 are now facing into map
ඉතින් අර අපි හිතනවා නේ මොකක් හරි හින ලොකු ගේමක්
හිතන්න නැතිව.
They're going to have to dig
ඒකේ
deep.
රිවිල් එක දාලා
Even just on
ප්ලාන්
an
කරේ
emotional level with what they've
හැබැයි
been
එන
through in
සිම්පල්
this
දේවල්
game,
කරාම
this
දිරන්න
could
තියෙන
be
chance එක
already
වැඩි.
over in their favor.
This fight is so integral. Once again, Meteor holding the line. Fantastic match. And then even at the end of the round, it's the movement from Buzz. I think he's definitely got one of the best movement of Neo I've ever seen. Like the amount of bullets it takes even to kill him by that point, that's where you have the swing out from Izu. And that player has already been spamming bullets. They don't have time to correct. We spoke about how T1 like to call those pauses going into the round. They've been struggling in the defensive round. That's what they've done. DRG, they're calling it because otherwise they're in the lower bracket.
I think
this is honestly
නෑ නෑ ඒ ටෙක්නිකල්
DRG ලා කියන්නේ දැන් ඔය DRG ලා ongoing time out එක කියලා වෙන අරුන්ගේ T1 ලා එකක්වත් නෑ කියන්නේ උන් අරගන්න කලින්
and it's already your series, but you could be facing a 2-0 regardless, balancing those emotions alongside the tactics.
It's also as well, when you've played 27 rounds of a game, how do you then go, I have something for round 28?
I got something new.
Yeah. It's difficult. Or to just spot something that you think can be adapted, especially when a lot of the attack side for T1 was just ramming their head into the A side.
Well, you could probably say they're going to ram their head
Oh,
into the A side. That doesn't mean you'll win.
අර ගිලෝරකට වරෙන්කෝ ගහමුකෝ අපිට මැච් එකක් තියෙනවා
So to speak.
They're going again.
නිකන් නම් දාගෙන ගහන්න බෑ වරෙන් ගිලෝරක ගහ
මුගාර ක්ලෑෂ් ඔෆ් ක්ලෑන් එකේ තියෙන බූරුවට ගියා ගිලෝර කියන හුත් එකක් කරලා බලු බලන්නේ ඩොනේට් නේ මුකුත් තලින්
මම මේක ගහන්නේ නැහැ මොනවා
Quick rotation from Ackerman. The numbers
ගම
are here.
නමක් දාලා හදාගෙන ආතල් එකට ගහමු
And they will go ahead.
Nice
අර ගහනවා සෙට් එකක් එන බොට්ටු වගේ ඒවා උන් හැබැයි 13 වෙනි යට ඉන්නේ ලීඩර් බෝඩ්
The trap early flank online for DRG with the man advantage. They just need to buy time now. Draw the eye of their opponents. That's a free
ඒකේ බා ප්ලේ ඔෆ් ආව කාඩ් එකක්
to
ගන්නවා
stay alive here. As Meteor is shut down after one. D8 follows.
බලපං ඉතින්
And T1, they will not be taking this 15-13. This isn't map number 1. We're going further, deeper into the series for another overtime.
Yeah, I love the adaptation in this
අර
round.
මුවර
It was
විදුරු
just
බොක්ස්
that gate
එකක් තියන් ඉන්නේ බා
allowing quick enough
Glass not
rotations
dead.
after the initial contact. There wasn't a follow-up, and the mid-round call was perfect. Maybe that was the plan all along, but I genuinely think there was, okay, I've seen nothing, go. We need to get back to the other side of the map fast.
කෙලිම ගායාස් එක ගහලම තියෙන ඩීමන් වලට නේද බම්
How quick they were able to react. 14-14.
vengeance නේ
Lower bracket for one of these teams versus either Heretics or G2. It's not a pretty picture, and DRG are not ready just yet to give that one up.
Oh, the shot from Izu. That Spirit Z1 down, a big part of this aggression, a big part of the opening duels that DRG have been able to win, and the reposition from Izu, it's not getting any better for the attackers. He's now ready with Buzz by his side, a deadly duo indeed. DRG decimated in this round. Only Nick standing, and that doesn't last long. Another chance to close the series out for T1.
Buzz has really been impossible to deal with throughout this match so far. I think even the steps of Izu might have just baited them into a false sense of security. Like, maybe I have an operator to face off against, and then you walk into the hands of an absolute menace. This shot as well, just so clean with it. I believe that was his 31st kill. And now, once again, DRG are in a position where they have to find a response.
T1 again looking to fake out that presence to the A side, but it's early spotted by DRG. Trap going to catch Buzz. Put in his place by Spirit. T1 this time. Demon one on the line catches another. Again, they have the chance to close it, but again, it's DRG digging deep on this defensive side. Meteor, he's been the one to pull them out of these bad situations, but he has to go huge here. Even the dog isn't enough, but Stacks on this one.
අපි යම් වැල්ලන් ගන්න GG boys
අඩෝ ගත්ත රවුන්ඩ් එක දුන්නේ බා
ඒක ඉවරයි boys හරි GG අපි යම්
මේ ප්‍රීමියර් ටීම් එකක් හදලා ගහමුද කියනවා ප්‍රීමියර්
එන්න ගහමු
ප්‍රීමියර් ආර්සනල් ඔය
guys live එක Facebook එකේ යනවා එන්න
කියලා දාන්න ගහන්න බෑ හරිද
මම already ගිදෝර එකේ බං ඉන්නේ
අයින් ගා අයින් ඔය කියලා
හරි අපි
දේවබු ගිදෝර කියලා ගහනට ඔබ ඉන්නෙත් බෑනේ
ගිදෝර මයි කවුන්ට් එක නෙවෙයි ගන්න මට නම් අදන්නේ
බෑ නෑ කීපල් ලෙඩ්ලා කියලා
එන්න නැත්තම් ඉඳපල්ලා මම ගිදෝර කියන්නේ මේ ගහමු Valorant හරියන්නේ හුටා what the fuck මට ගේම් එක රීස්ටාර්ට් කරන්නවා කියන්නකෝ
ගේම් එකද
PC එක බොයිස් මේ බලන්න හරිද මට මගේ ඔයාලට පෙන්නන්නම් හරිද සීන් එක ස්ක්‍රීන් කැප්චර් එකම දාලා ඔන්න බලන්න සීන් එක හරිද දැන් මගේ තියෙනවා බොයිස් මගේ තියෙනවා ඩ්‍රයිව් හાર્ඩ් හතරක් මේ TDF කියලා හතරක් තියෙනවා හරි දැන් මට මෙතන වෙන්නනේ දැන් 3යි හරිද දැන් මගේ Valorant තියෙන ස්ටාර්ට් එක අරගෙන නැහැ බං අයියෝ
ඔබ Valorant කියන්න බා හાર્ඩ් එක තියෙන්නේ කියලා
නෑ SSD එක තියෙන්නේ SSD එක බං ගන්න නෑ අයියෝ මන්ද දැන් මං
කේබල් එක මාරු කරා SATA කේබල්
ඔක්කොම මාරු කරලා තියෙන දැන් ආයෙ මට මම මෙතනින් ගලවලා ගහුවා
රීස්ටාර්ට් කරාම ලෙඩේ හරියන මොකද්ද බං අවුල
ඒක රීස්ටාර්ට් කරපුවම ආයෙ ගන්නවා බං මේ SATA කේබල් එක ගලවලා ගහුවොත් ගේම් ගනේද නැත්නම් SSD එකත් එක්ක ක්‍රැෂ් වෙලා ඉද්දන්නේ නැහැ නේද පොඩින් බාන්න එක කරන්න මට ආයි ලයිව් එක ක්ලෝස් කරන්න එපා වෙනවා බොයිස් ලයිව් එක ක්ලෝස් කරලා ආයි දාන්න එක පැය කීයක්ද ලයිව් එක පැය දෙකක් ලයිව් එක
ක්ලෝස් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ
ඒක තමයි ලයිව් එක ක්ලෝස් කරන්න නැතුව බලමු SATA එකේ කේබල් එක ගලවලා දැන් මම දන්නවා මං හොඳටම කරගන්නවා මං 100 එක ගලවනවා 100 එක ගලවුවොත් කොහොමවත් ඉවරයි what the fuck බං ඇයි මටම මෙහෙම වෙන්නේ fucking idiot වෙන ගේම් එකක් ගාම් බොයිස් ගන්න වෙන්නේ මේ පොඩේ නෑ මේ මම ලයිව් එක එන් කරනවා බොයිස් හරිද ලයිව් එක එන් කරලා මං ආයි ලයිව් එකක් දානවා මේ ඔයාලා එකට සෙට් වෙන්න හරිද
මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ උට
අර SATA එක ගන්න නැති මගුල බං ආයි රීස්ටාර්ට් කරන් ඉන්න ඕනේ
ඒ ජෙස්ට්
අපි
ඔබ ඔල්රෙඩි ප්‍රීමියර් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නවලු
ඉතින් නේලකින්න ගිදෝරකේ
ඔය ගිඩෝරකින් අයින් යන්න බා
ගිදෝරකින් අයින් වෙන්න බා නේලක උඹ ඉඳපන් මේ මම ලයිව් එක අයින් කරගෙන ඉන්නවා අපි ඊට පස්සේ කීබෝඩ් එක අන්බොක්ස් කරනවා ගොඩක් දේවල් කරනවා ඔයාලා සෙට් වෙන්න ලයිව් එකෙන් කරන් ඉන්නම්
ඉතින් ඔය ලයිව් එක එන් කරන්නේ නැතුව රීකනෙක්ට් කරන්න බැරිද බා
ලයිව් එක එන් කරන්නේ නැතුව රීකනෙක්ට් කරන්න බෑනේ PC එක රීස්ටාර්ට් කරාට පස්සේ කොහොමද ලයිව් එක රීකනෙක්ට් කරන්නේ
ඉතින් ලයිව් එක යන්න දාන්න පුළුවන් නේ බා අර අපේ උන් දාන්නේ
PC එක රීස්ටාර්ට් කරපුවාම කොහොමද ඒ ලයිව් එක යන්නේ කනෙක්ෂන් ඔක්කොම ඩිස්කනෙක්ට් වෙනවානේ
ඉතින් අර අපේ එකෙක් ඉන්නවා බා උඩ විදුලි කෙටුවම මැෂින් එක ඕෆ් කරනවා ඒත් උගේ ලයිව් එක බී රයිට් බෑක් කියලා යනවා බා
ඒ ඩුවල් ස්ක්‍රීන් වෙන්නේ නැති මොකක් හරි මේ ඩුවල් මොන්ට වෙන්නේ නැති මේ ඩුවල් සෙටප් වෙන්නේ නැති බා ලැප් එකකින්
හරි මොකද නෑ ඕ ඩුවල් සෙටප් නෙමෙයි
නෑ මට නම් දන්නේ නැහැ මම දන්නේ නැහැ එහෙම ඉතින් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා මට නම් බෑ එහෙම කරන්න අනේ මට
මම අහලා බලන්නම්කෝ උඹ දැන් රීස්ටාර්ට් කරාට
මම රීස්ටාර්ට් කරගෙන නම් බොයිස් ඔයාලා සෙට් වෙන්න